All right, so once again, I'm live. Coming on tonight. What day is it? It's April 13th, 2025. We'll do. Gotcha. All right, that's that. Now, it's so you're looking at it, looking at the time and the dates and all this stuff. Stuff is really starting to get kind of interesting. What is his name? Carmelo Anthony. Um, you got a basketball player named Carmelo Anthony too, don't you? And he gets put in the Hall of Fame around the same time, right? So I just thought it was mighty interesting. About this stuff. Now, on the flip side, I said, let me, do some searching into this thing, right? And as I always do, I said something don't seem right about this case, and then behold, when I found it, I said, I said something adding up. So went and looked into it a little bit, and had a attorney named Billy Clark and Kim T. Cole that will no longer represent the 17-year-old Kamala Anthony in the murder case against him. So Mike Howell will now represent the client. So it's that. So the client is a guy named Mike Howard. Now, that's he's representing Scotty Anthony. Now I find that mighty weird. Now, this guy, Mike Howard, is the other attorney. So I said, okay, let's do some more digging here. Went to this thing called Next Generation Action Network. Started in 2014. Founded by Minister Dominique Alexander with the support of Damon Crenshaw and Carrera Sanders. Nixon has developed one of the largest social justice organizations, and one of the fastest growing organizations in the nation with several chapters around the country. Some of the major forces include education, legal advocacy, criminal justice, women's rights, LGBTQIA, and human and civil rights violations. It is taking great strides toward combating oppression and discriminating Black, brown, Indian communities. Short after the nation took the streets protesting against the indictment of Darren Wilson and joining the national fight for justice for Mike Brown. They protested the Kennedy Police Department, Orlando Castillo, and so forth and like. So that's the Next Generation Action Network. So that's that. I won't even pull it up. But there is a picture with Jasmine Crockett on there. So this happened in Virginia. Cause we've been having a lot of wild stuff going around here lately. I ain't tell you a lot, man.
4 teenagers have been charged in a mass shooting that
So yeah, so this happened in Richmond. I mean, I don't know if it happened. It happened in Virginia, but it was a big shootout. They say so.
Killed 3 people and injured 3 more at a Spotsylvania apartment complex. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm Julie Bragg.
And I'm Bill Fitzgerald. Our Cameron Thompson shares what we know about the suspects and the people who were killed. And he spoke to a man who lives there, who's shaken by what happened.
It's crazy, because I ain't never seen nothing like that at all.
A sense of disbelief and relief in the Spotsylvania neighborhood.
And with all the stray bullets and everything going on, I just want to thank God, by the grace of God, that none of them kids was out here.
A day after a gun battle erupted on this stretch of Old Greenwich Circle that left 3 people dead and 4 arrested, the majority of them teenagers.
It sounded like I was playing a video game. Like it sounded like one of the Call of Duty games.
And the remnants of which neighbors began to clean up Wednesday, including shattered glass, blood stains, and bullet holes. The Spotsylvania Sheriff's Office says the shooting happened around 5:30 p.m. and it appears it started as an illegal gun sale that turned into a robbery, then shootout.
That was some crazy. There was at least 100 shots going off. That's what it sounded like, just back to back to back to back.
Doorbell camera and cell phone video from neighbors given to CBS 6 shows some of the aftermath, starting with 2 people holding long guns, walking back towards the area where the shooting happened. It appears blood soaked the arm of one of them.
They were big ass guns. Like, that's not normal. They were ready to kill somebody.
The 2 people can then be seen stopping and running back in the other direction. Another neighbor who didn't want to go on camera says those 2 were stopped and arrested in front of her door, and the guns were left leaning on her fence. She says she came home right after the shooting happened and found bullets had ripped through her house.
It traumatized me.
Or at least I thought it had space.
Because I could have been in the kitchen and those bullets could have went through my window and killed me.
Law enforcement says in total 3 people were killed in the shooting. Chase Feaster and Alonzo Goffney, both are 18 and from Spotsylvania. A 20-year-old man was also killed but hasn't been identified. Video obtained by CBS 6's John Burkett shows 2 suspects in the shooting being arrested by law enforcement Wednesday evening. Their faces are blurred because of their age. The sheriff's office says 4 people have been charged in the case, 2 16-year-olds, a 17-year-old, and 18-year-old Jeremiah Upson. Right now, all are just facing a firearm and malicious wounding charge. And with the case now in the court system, neighbors say they're just ready to get back to normal.
We forget about this and life just goes on.
And the sheriff's office says that all of those suspects are being held without bond, except for one of the 16-year-olds who's currently being treated in the hospital, but when he is released, he will be taken into custody. In Spotsylvania, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.
4 teenagers have
There have been few, if any, reports of problems tonight related to large gatherings. Police have had a noticeable presence, and CPD and CPS are now partnering on a message aimed at parents.
At Millennium Park, a large teen gathering promoted on social media did not materialize, but police and representatives from community groups were ready.
When we see teens, we stop, talk to them, engage with them. You know, we see what's on their mind, see how they feeling.
At the Streeterville movie theater, popular with young people, police and barricades, the business imposing an age restriction for unaccompanied minors. This, as a series of so-called teen takeovers in recent years, led CPS and CPD to warn school families in an email that anyone failing to comply with orders to disperse could be arrested.
Hey, parents, we need you. Have a talk with them, Let them know, it's good to go out with your friends and enjoy the city. Don't be disruptive, because that leads to other things happening.
Last month, in 2 separate incidents, gatherings in Streeterville led to gunfire and people being wounded.
The level of violence in these incidents is escalating. The problem itself is getting more serious and demanding solutions.
Northside Alderman Brian Hopkins says he'll introduce an ordinance next Wednesday in City Council, changing the downtown curfew for minors from 10 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mayor Brandon Johnson opposes that move and favors partnering with neighborhood groups to invest in more youth programs.
Stuff for studios, basketball, whatever activity students like, just more programming for students to be themselves.
Let's hear for the young people and empower them to have a voice in what is it that they want to do.
Mayor Johnson says members of the business community have partnered with the city to invest in youth programs, but he's calling on business.
Bom dia, Praia de Maçambaba, Monte Alto.
We are going to begin with part of that breaking news. Authorities saying an arsonist targeted the Pennsylvania governor's residence, setting it on fire while he and his family were asleep inside. A senior law enforcement official tells ABC News authorities are looking at whether this could have been fueled by the fact that Governor Josh Shapiro is Jewish and that the blaze was set on the first night of Passover. ABC's Rena Roy joins us now with the latest. Rena, what more do we know about what happened last night?
Yeah, well, Phil, certainly a lot to look into for authorities here. As you said, police are calling this an act of arson. We know that they are working swiftly at this hour to track down whoever did this. The flames broke out in the overnight hours. The governor and his family quickly evacuated as firefighters tried to get the fire under control. Officials say one part of the home was significantly damaged. Images showing broken out glass in some of the windows. Thankfully, the governor and his family, who were in a different area, escaped without injuries.
So just a couple of hours before last night was the first night of Passover. Jews all around the world celebrating at a Seder. He posts a picture of his Seder plate. What's he saying about this?
Yeah, well, this photo is obviously a big part of this investigation. A senior law enforcement official, as you mentioned, telling ABC News that they're looking into whether this attack could have been motivated by the fact that he is Jewish. The governor says he woke up at around 2 a.m. with police banging on his door, trying to evacuate him and his family. He says he is just thankful that nobody was hurt. He says he and his wife are eternally grateful to those first responders who helped them get out safely.
All right, Rena Roy, thanks so much. We are going to be
What's up, man?
What up, man?
I don't know, man. The governor of Pennsylvania say somebody tried to burn his house, man.
Wow, really? Oh, wow.
That's what he say.
I'm telling you. Wow.
They said it happened on the first day of Passover, and they said they don't know if they did it because he's Jewish or not.
You already know what they do. You already know what's going on with that. And here we go. Here we go. Ramp it back up.
You said ramp back up, huh? Yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. That is a little crazy, man. Yeah, they said they might because he's Jewish, man. You know, I'm like, I don't know, man. It sound a little suspect, man, to me. But they already arrested the suspect, though. They said the suspect was trying to jump over a 7-foot fence. I said, now wait a minute, man. I said, now come on, man.
Damn.
Now, I don't know about you, but you ain't trying to jump on no 7-foot fence.
Hell no.
I mean,
7 foot.
I'm not saying it can't be done, but come on.
He must be Batman. You know?
He's a basketball player or something.
You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
38-year-old Cody Bomber now in custody and expected to be charged with attempted murder.
Now, wait a minute now. Now, he's 38, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
They get that number.
Damn.
Terrorism, aggravated arson, and more. After officials say he forcibly entered and set a fire at Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's residence in Harrisburg.
He was able to, he acted very surreptitiously, and then he forcibly entered, and then he set the fire.
Authorities calling the blaze an act of arson, saying local fire officials responded to the incident around 2 a.m., successfully evacuating Governor Josh Shapiro and his family while extinguishing the flames. The governor and his family were in a different part of the home, officials say, away from the fire. But a portion of the house had a significant amount of damage from the blaze.
This type of violence is not okay. This kind of violence is becoming far too common in our society.
Officials haven't said if they believe the incident was politically motivated or a hate crime. Police say Bomber had a homemade device.
He had some homemade incendiary devices.
Just hours before the incident, Shapiro, who was Jewish, sent out this message for Passover with a picture of his family's Seder table.
If he was trying to terrorize our family, our friends, the Jewish community who joined us for a Passover Seder in that room last night, hear me on this. We celebrated our faith last night proudly, and in a few hours, we will celebrate our second Seder of Passover again proudly.
Maya Eaglin joins us now from Harrisburg, where one of the big questions, Maya, is how somebody got so close to the governor's residence in the first place.
Yeah, Hallie, police say once a suspect hopped over the fence right over here by the governor's mansion, the security team was alerted, but somehow that suspect was able to make it inside the residence. So now security teams here are doing a full review to try and make sure something like this doesn't happen again. Hallie?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking.
Hey, so if my thing is, if they alerted the security, how do you still get in the house? Does that make any sense?
Good question. I mean, I'm just trying to figure this shit out, man.
Yeah, damn, they running them scripts on us, bro. They don't never stop.
Well, the good thing is, it is April 13th.
Damn. The 13th, huh? Damn. Okay, BJ. They got us again or what? Man.
Hey, cool. Well, they told you they said they don't know if it's a hate crime or not. I said, well, how you don't know?
Why even put that out there?
See?
And just because somebody burned your house because you're Jewish does not mean that it's a hate crime, dude. That's stupid.
Well, they said they don't know what it is now.
That's just like if somebody burns somebody's house, that's a black person's house down. That's not necessarily because they're black. You see how that works? You see how that works, man? That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Now look, let me go back to something I played earlier. Or showed earlier, actually, I played. This is that next generation action network I was telling you about. The address is right here. And the phone, wait a minute, that ain't the damn phone number. Hold on a minute. Well, that's the other phone. That might be the hotline, but that ain't the one I had. I get that one. But it's 1808 South Good Lattimore Expressway. They have elected people like Congressman Cory Bush, Dallas County District. They have voice, and they support education, legal advocacy, criminal justice, women's rights, human and civil rights violations. All right.
Interesting.
So that's that. Matter of fact, let's pull them up a little bit.
You gonna pull up the story? That's what you said?
No, I ain't pulling up the story. I'm gonna pull up their goddamn network. They done had a lot of press conferences. Matter of fact, hold on.
I'm not the Anthony family attorney. Of course, you know the Next Generation Action Network is no stranger to this line of work. And we have been representing families for the last 10 years from an advocacy standpoint to get to the bottom of this situation. The Next Generation Action Network, since the last past week, have gotten thousands of calls regarding this situation and making sure that our organization was involved in this situation because of the growing tension of racism and bigotry involving with the case. I want to start off by saying that I appreciate the Deputy Chief, John Stretch, from being able to come here to meet with us, as well as the Assistant Police Chief, Darren Stevens. These are two individuals who are currently over the investigation that is currently going on in Frisco ISD. Of course, let's start off in the proper way. I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as president and founder of the Next Generation Action Network.
All right, let's stop there right there. Number one, the attorneys was Billy Clark, and the other one was like Kim Cole or something. Well, anyway, they have dropped the case. They're no longer on the case, right? So that's that, right? All right, so let's use them and take them out. So they got a guy named Howard. I think the case they're gonna start talking about tomorrow again, right? So, but
let me turn this up a little bit.
When I looked at them, I said, hold on. These guys kind of like a BLM type thing. Really is BLM in disguise. So I already knew. I said, they've been playing the thing a little bit too much for me. And once I hear about it about 3 or 4 times, I said, well, I can already tell you this is probably a psyops, man.
Because everybody playing, everybody on social,
yeah,
everybody on social media is talking about reporting it. You know what I'm saying? Like at the same time, that kind of gives it away too. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you ever watch. If I do it, I might do it early, but usually I wait till they start to die down, even though they haven't died down. So that's when I said this time they haven't died down. They've been talking about every day. I said this got to be some type of psyop they running there. Because actually, to tell you the truth, they used to talk about it first, but now it's been picking up more steam actually, which is they're really getting this thing in overdrive now. So, but I know they're in Dallas, and I know that I saw the guy out there. This matter of fact, this guy right here was out there with pictures of Crockett. She had a mask on. This guy right here. So now, Let me pull up something else on them. That's the Next Generation Action Network, right? So, what's up, man?
What's your third leg?
What's going on? Well, look, yeah, this is the guy right here. But let me pull it up. So this is the guy. They hired a new attorney. His name is Howard. I'm about to give you his name. What's his name? I think his name is Michael Howard. But that's the guy, Metcalf. And the family is encouraging donations to the churchcenter.com giving. Okay. Now, this guy had a fundraiser too. What's this guy's fundraiser again? Shit. Because I knew. I said, wait a minute. They promoting the fundraiser on his side too? But if fundraiser ain't the bury the boy, so because the boy just got buried yesterday with no damn burial. So I knew that.
Interesting. Very interesting, brother. Very interesting.
But when I looked and found out they had ties, or Ben had Crockett down there, and they, that let me know that something is this group, this ain't what it is. Okay. Yeah, they got a GoFundMe right here for this guy. And they say he don't raise $339,000 right there. Right? So they got to GoFundMe on both sides, obviously. Making some money. Right.
Clear. The Anthony family cannot leave their home because of the growing threats towards their safety. Their personal address has been exposed. They have received graphic and racist threats. They are being targeted with violence and simply because their child is in the center of this tragedy. We are here just for justice. This justice must be fair and impartial and protected from biases. We cannot allow racism and bigotry to divide us. We cannot allow white America to decide when and how Black people can people can speak up against oppression. We do not.
Now, I already told you that. I told you these guys are making money. Right? I told you what's going on. This guy is like with a BLM type thing going on. I already told you about this guy. The guy speak. So,
right.
Seems like another one of them situations here. Somebody they go, but I realized how both sides were playing it. I realized they was making money on one end, and then they gave money there on this side. And then they said they wanted to cancel GoFundMe. There's a whole lot of stories going back and forth. But when I realized how they were, and I realized the thing been more so on social media too. That's how I kind of knew that something was up. But they wouldn't die down. So I said, let me go look into this thing. And then I said, okay, well, here. And then you just go, okay. And then I realized that. But I did realize one thing. I did realize Ben Crump and them ain't take this case. So so that's you. They ready to jump on these cases, but they not Himalayan chasing this time yet. So just something to think about. They might get involved, but just saying.
What you want to play real quick? Play that story real quick or what?
What story?
About the little Carmelo story. Just to get some you know what I'm saying, some commentary on it and shit.
Yeah, he just sent me some actually. Hold on. Actually, Chak sent me something actually here. So yeah,
But my thing is, look, whatever the psyop, whatever the case is, look at how people react. Look at how these black conservatives, you know what I'm saying, these black people reacting to this shit. It really makes me laugh because it's like it wasn't the same, you know what I'm saying, energy when the Dylan Roof thing. I mean, with the Kyle Rittenhouse or the you know what I'm saying, even the Zimmerman shit.
Hey, yeah.
Right?
Go ahead and say something. I'm gonna tell you something funny when you're done with that. I'm gonna tell you some funny shit.
People got a completely different. It's like this. See, people fail the test. If it's a psyop, right? It's basically a test, a psychological test on you, and most people fail. You see what I'm saying? Black, white, whatever the case is, especially the white people in these cases, because it's, you know damn well it's about right and wrong. And see, you want to cape for somebody doing wrong just because they're white. How is that right? You see what I'm saying? And see, that's the thing. It's a psychological thing, man. And people say divide, but we already are divided. When people use that word divide, it's like, okay, divide. Okay, well, there's places that you go to where the police tell you what are you doing in this part of town. So how can they even use the word divide anyway? Liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, that's divide, right? Christian, Muslim, isn't that divide? You see what I'm saying? All this stuff is just basically a mind game, mind manipulation. You see what I'm saying? And people need to realize that, but these people fail the test every time. And that's why I don't be getting why, these so-called black conservatives and stuff like that became for these people. But if it was the other way around, if you know what I'm saying, if a black dude kills a white person, they're not gonna side with you. You know what I'm saying? If a white person kills a black person, they're gonna side with the white person. You see what I'm saying? All the time. So how do you cape when a black person kills a white person? How do you cape for the white person? It's all a psychological. It's just all a mind manipulation, dude. It's all engineering consent, man. At the end of the day, you see what I'm saying? They know it. They know they play these games and the perfect person to do it when Trump is in office to do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? That's basically how it goes. Look at how the indictments are going down. Look who they're indicting. You see they're indicting up more of these rappers because Biden was in there. They was indicting these rappers too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's an interesting take. Actually, because I'm looking at how they got this thing going. Hey, Chak. Well, anyway, Chak, this is this is the video you sent me. We were talking about this earlier. I sent you the thing on this Defying Lawyers Network. You had asked me about it. You got me a video right here. Defying.
Yeah, I think you need to pay close attention to what the attorney and lawyers saying, bro.
I'm afraid
everybody need to have this. We need to get on our shit because we slipping.
All right, here we go.
Please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. So this is the second video that I made regarding the Carmelo Anthony incident that left a 17-year-old white kid dead. And as I did in that first video, I'll do it again. And I mean it sincerely. My heart goes out to the family of Austin Metcalf. And I also understand what the family of Carmelo Anthony is also going through. As I said in my first video, there are no winners in this case. Everyone loses here. Both of these families' lives will never be the same. And I say that on a personal level. I have lost young loved ones in my life. Okay, 2 younger brothers to be exact. And I have represented thousands of people who were charged with criminal offenses. So I know how devastating these matters can be. And I sincerely grieve with the Metcalf family. And my heart is broken also for the Anthony family. Now, many of you have shown up and you've made comments on my video, which fine, we want you to do that. If you have comments, make those comments. But here's the thing. First of all, watch the whole video. If you're going to make a comment, do yourself the favor of watching all of the video from start to finish so that you can make an informed comment and not one that I know immediately that you did not watch the video. Also, my video yesterday about this matter was limited to statements that Carmelo made, allegedly, and to how the police conducted itself in its engagement with Carmelo. And the biggest part of the video was to warn other people not to make statements to the police ever. I cannot think of a good reason for someone who is the target of a criminal investigation to talk with the police without legal counsel present. And it's the very reason why, in certain circumstances, law enforcement is required to warn them of what will happen with those statements. It's called a Miranda warning. And some of you disagree with me about when Miranda was required in this.
Well, in there he's called Miranda rights. But yeah.
What you saying, BJ?
Some people call it Miranda rights. He called it warning, but that's actually, yeah. Actually, you know what's so crazy? They actually do tell you have the right to remain silent. So, I mean, that's actually a good thing he's saying this.
Right, yeah, that's true.
That's good he's saying this, actually. Hey, Shaq.
Yeah.
Basically telling you keep your goddamn mouth shut.
Yeah. Teachable moments on here, baby. You have a right to remain silent
Yeah, baby, telling you keep
at
your
all
fucking
times. Anything can and will be used against you.
That's exactly right. All right.
This matter based on the arrest report. Now, here's the thing. You got your opinion. However, many of you have never been to law school. You've never taken a bar exam. You've never studied the law. You're not an attorney. You haven't tried any cases. So you're just basically giving your uninformed opinion, which fine, that's fine. But you give your opinion as if you know what you're talking about. And you know you don't know what you're talking about. I know you don't know what you're talking about. Your opinion is based on what you have seen on television and movies, what you heard, what you think, etc. My opinion is not based on that. My opinion is based on almost 2 decades of practicing law, representing thousands of criminal defendants, trying murder cases and using self-defense and so forth. So my opinion is an informed opinion. It doesn't mean, for example, the prosecutor and the judge and jury will not agree with me, but it is an informed decision from having studied the law for 3 years and another year to pass the bar exam, and again, having practice going on 2 decades. All right, so watch the video and don't sound so sure of yourself when you know you really don't know what you're talking about. All right, and so what I want to do in this video is talk about the charges, the defenses, and to see if there's any sort of justification for what allegedly happened to Austin Metcalf. All right, let's go.
If you have to wipe yourself raw just to get clean.
Carmelo is charged with murder.
Hold on, man.
He's charged with criminal homicide under the Texas Penal Code. So we're going to look a little bit at what that all means. Now, before we go further, let's look at a couple of statements that were given in this matter. Now, Maria Guerrero is a journalist with NBC, okay, the local NBC affiliate here. And so I found this statement by looking at her social media profile. So here's the statement that Carmelo's attorneys gave, Billy Clark and Kim Cole. And it says, quote, Carmelo and the entire Anthony family are sincerely saddened that a life was lost and offer their condolences to the family of Austin Metcalf. During this difficult time, we urge the public to refrain from rushing to judgment before all the facts and evidence are presented. That's right. Carmelo, like all.
Now, one thing I want to make clear is these two lawyers, they talking about Billy Cole and Kim Cole, have dropped from the case. So they're no longer on the case. They got a guy named Howard now.
Citizens of the United States is entitled to a fair and impartial legal process. That is right. We are committed to ensuring that Carmelo's rights.
Why would they drop? Did they get pressured or something?
Protected throughout each phase
of the criminal
justice. So that is the statement that they gave. I think it was a very good statement.
Threats out there that the family was getting threatened, right?
What happened?
Yeah.
I said, why did they drop? Is there any information on the reason why they dropped?
No, but I know they got I think they got a white boy named Howard now representing the case.
So they're trying to play the game because now, this is a good video, but he got another video that gives you a detail of the area, the county area. He gave you a breakdown on the racial population.
What's the area called? Frisco?
Huh?
What's the area called? Frisco?
Yeah, it's Frisco. It's Collin County. Yeah, Frisco. Yeah.
Let me hold on for a minute.
50% white. I think he said 35 or some shit. Asian. 16 some percent.
No, I got it right here.
Hispanic.
51%
like
white.
11.5% Black African American.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. 51% white, 27 Asian, 8.6 Black, 0.2 American Indian and escalate, 2 or more races 4.7, other race 0.2. Okay, so what you're saying is basically the guy was outnumbered. That's what you're basically telling me. I got you.
Well, yeah, but and he gave a breakdown on yeah. So pretty much he's not really going to have a trial unless they get it moved out, which amongst his peers, pretty much. Not saying that they're going to be fair and impartial. Not saying they ain't going to be fair and impartial, but I don't know. And the median household income is I think 120, 140,000 or some shit like that. And I think the average home is like 400 plus K. So this ain't no and when they say affluent, I said, what the hell does affluent mean? This is an affluent area. I had to look that word up, Frank. You know what affluent mean?
I mean, well-to-do, basically.
Yeah, well, I like, whoa, affluent. I had to look that word up myself.
well-to-do. That's all it means.
So I'm thinking even the so-called black African families, they got to have some little change to be able to stand in here. Plano, Frisco,
Right.
Allen.
Well, Shaq, I'm gonna give you a test study right here. That's the guy who's the criminal defense lawyer now. His name is Mike Howard. And you can get a 30-minute case of violation. His number is 214-380-3456. Welcome to the law office of Mike Howard. This is the guy that's taking the case now. Dallas criminal defense.
Okay.
So there you go right there.
Criminal defense. Okay.
So just want to point that out to you right there.
Yeah,
So that goes to show you that. No, it goes to show you that somebody playing a game.
So hold on. So did the attorneys recruit themselves from the case or something? From it? I mean, what happened?
I know they left. I don't know what they accused.
Oh, they said they left. Damn. They must was like, shit. They probably had a conversation with the family. Probably was like, man, look here. Because you know what? They were supposed to be trying to get the bond dropped. Did they ever drop the bond?
I don't think they dropped the bond. I think they're gonna have a hearing tomorrow.
Oh, okay, you'll have a hearing tomorrow. Okay.
That's too high, man.
I'm gonna say this. Some reason, some just tell me this thing might not go the way you think it's gonna go. I got a feeling this shit ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. On some ways, on either side, because I told you it's a lot of money being pushed in. So that's on either side. Like when money getting pushed in, like I told you, they say this guy already got buried, but they still want you to donate GoFundMe for him, for him to do. And in this case, this guy faces bond. They want you to donate for him. So to me, it sounds like somebody is playing a little something to game here. But on Monday Money Game, of course. So we'll see.
This could be another social experiment. You know they like to do that. Do these things, social experiments.
I told you, Next Generation Action Network. I told you, I looked them up, and they involved that guy, minister, picture out there with Crockett and stuff like that. Let me bring something up right quick, because I tell you, I've been doing a couple things. On the other side of life, life hits us in different ways. I talked to Chak today. I said, Chak, I told him the other day, I said, Chak, I cannot remember what I forgot to tell you. And then like, boom, it just hit me. I said, then the nephew was with me there. He said, man, I found out he got diagnosed with diabetes. Right. That brings us up right quick. So Chak about this. No, I mean, they ain't gonna be sorry about it. I mean, that's the condition of life these days, man. I'm sorry, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. Me and Chak talk about this all the time, right? This is like, par for the course, right? With us. I was like, man, he ain't number 25 years old, so that's kind of like, what the hell, right? But when I look at it, man, I'm like, you know what? What now, right? What the hell can I do? I tell you, my buddy got ALS. He down for the count, basically. I mean, some ways. This, that. I'm like, damn, what the hell is going on right here? So, me and Chak always talk about the sad. The standard American diet. And Chak, I want to bring something up on here too, because I was looking at this thing with the bananas and the sperm count and all that. Before I do go into all that, I want to ask you a question. Since you got diabetes, right? Or you had it, or you reversed it, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter, right? Your personal experience with it starting out until now, how was it?
You say, how was it?
I mean, well, how is it now, or how was it then, or the case may be?
Well, starting off with it wasn't really a major problem. Only thing, like you said, you just felt thirsty and tired. You know what I mean? Pick up, like I say, some weight. I don't know if that was,
he got a lot of
But
yeah.
I picked up. But like I said, it's tricky because at the time at the time my kid's mother wife was married. I mean, was pregnant with my daughter, so I picked up a lot of weight in that pregnancy, and that was in 2002. So about 2003, graduated in 2000. So about 2002, my daughter was born. I picked up more of the weight in doing that throughout that pregnancy time, right? So by the time it was going for the 6 months checkup, well, so we in 2003. Well, yeah, 6 months checkup, I'm like 260 pounds. Like, because they were saying that you could be, but when you get it, Frank, because I still was moving around, working and shit, playing basketball, active and stuff. So even though I was feeling tired and thirsty and shit and urinating a lot, I still was super active. You know what I mean? Working and shit, super active, young, still super active. So about 2003, urinating and thirsty, tired, drop off. So I just go get a checkup and shit, and then they find Keystone. Now I don't know if they do that particular testing for diabetes these days. They got different other methods, but back then they do a urine sample test. They test your urine and they test your A1C, but then they do a urine sample and they see find if you got ketones or some shit in your urine and shit. Then they So I mean, I was in denial the first 10 years because I ain't taking them. I wasn't taking them medicine though because I was still like in denial. You know what I mean? Because even though they said I had, I was still active. It didn't really affect me. But like you said, the damage and stuff was accumulating. You know what I mean? Over time, the damage was accumulating. Like I said, blood vessels, nervous system started to get damaged over time. If you don't regulate the blood sugar, start back regulating, getting it back to regular balanced levels. Up and downs. That's wear and tear on the body. Going up, it's going down. It's going up, it's going down. That's a lot of wear and tear. You know what I mean? And I ended up, then like I said, I eventually started to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know, the weight started to drop off. You know what I mean?
Now, is the weight drop a good thing or bad thing?
It depends. Could be a bad thing because, like I said, you could drop too much weight too fast, and that could be to a couple of things. That could be due to, like I said, as you know, endocrine disruptors. Like you said, things that's disrupting your diet, pretty much how your metabolism, how you metabolize shit. It can burn. You know what I'm saying? Speed it up, and you can drop a whole bunch of weight real fast.
So let me ask you a question, because you're a good segue, but I want to bring up how U.S. corporations sterilize thousands worldwide. That's what it's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see that picture of the banana up there. Now, so
well, when you get a chance, pull up that log I sent you too. If you got, like, I put in the group chat, it's called dioxins.
Yeah,
that's one of the major components. Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. So let's pull this up. That's just story. 25 years old, him having that. It sucks, but that's another.
So you don't really know too much information. You don't know if it. You said it's type 2. What's it?
Yeah, I know it's type 2. I know that they said got to keep him off that bread or something like that. Because I told you, gave me a whole damn pizza. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the major thing they got to do. But like I said, he take other medications and stuff. So,
yeah.
But definitely the bread, because the bread, like you said, that stuff break down into what they call simple. They got complex carbohydrates. They got simple carbohydrates. The bread breaks down into a simple carbohydrate. That means it breaks down faster, meaning it can raise your glucose quicker. You know what I mean? Starches. So you gotta watch out for the bread. If you do decide to eat bread, most likely it had to be something like sourdough bread or raw bread. And
That's actually sourdough is if I do eat bread. Actually, that's mostly the only bread I eat. Actually, so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right. But yeah, I'm glad you said that sourdough or rye.
Mhm.
Yes.
And another major thing what they don't tell you too is animal fat. Right? They don't tell you about animal fat. And they don't tell you about the processed meats they have to process chemical sugar and salt in it, which preserves the meat, lunch meat, deli meat. So imagine eating lunch meat sandwiches for Frank. Bread, 2 pieces of bread, meat on it, you know what I'm saying? Cured meat from the deli. You know what I mean? So you got the endocrine disruptor like a diabetes and stuff. You're gonna have to cut all the way back that bread and that processed meat because those are major culprits. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to introduce fat. Now, fat is good for you. Fat is good for anybody. A good fat is a good quality of avocado. I mean, either avocado oil, avocados.
Avocados is good. I like avocados.
Avocados is a good fat. It's monounsaturated fat. It's not a what's the other one? Saturated fat, which is the kind of you need the mono. And olive oil, like I said, a good quality of olive oil, because that's a good fat.
Hey, wait a minute, time out. Let me tell you some funny shit, yo. Funny shit. So yesterday, it was this white girl came with me too, yo. Crazy shit, right? And she said, are you eating olives? I said, yeah.
Olives,
Yeah, that shit was crazy, right? You know, I tell you they had that marathon going on yesterday. You know, motherfuckers always ask shit. I mean, I was just out, but and she asked me, you eating olives? She's like, oh yeah, I love olives. You know, I eat olives a lot. She like eating them by herself. I was like, yeah. She was like, that's good. She was like, that's a good thing to eat. She was like, and then she asked me, how do I know about this? I'm like, this bro, like, okay. Like, okay, look here, chick. You about to get roasted. But, you know, she was like, well, that's good. I store olives and fermented stuff and all that stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, fermented food is pretty good too, man, because it helps build up the good flora. You know, sauerkrauts, stuff like that.
I got you. But they don't see. It's weird because they don't think that we know this shit, right?
Right. But see, this is the trick. They forget we are the oracles, the founders of stuff like that, bro. Of canning goods. You know what I mean? Jarring goods. Now we coming with the jarring shit. They coming with the canning. See? Yeah. See how they flip the game on the Frank?
Yeah.
We know how to jar shit, ferment it in jars. They come up fermenting in cans. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See how they flip the game on you?
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, matter of fact, I got them olives somewhere.
Yeah, man, I love olives, bro. Man, olives are my shoe. That's my go-to.
Look,
olives, black olives and green olives.
But it was crazy because she was like, "You eat this?" I said, "Yeah, I eat olives most of the time before I work out or something like that." And she was like, "That's good," and she knew me anyway because she knew my aunt and all that anyway. But yeah, it's funny as hell. But she just said, I just never really seen. Now I know she ain't this damn crazy. I think I know what she trying to say, but let it be, right? He ain't hey, you can't talk about nothing here. Eating olives and stuff like that. But she was like, I just never seen people just pull out a can of olives and eat them in front of me. I said, well, okay, fine, fuck it. But that's either here or there. I'm not worried about it, but yeah, she did ask about it. Just put it out.
No, that's there and here.
Hmm.
She flirting, man.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean,
What she look like?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't know.
Shoot, damn.
No. She's a Becky. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't be born anyway. But I would
Was
say
it kryptonite?
no. It's called I say more like more like skin and bones type. Yeah, like really, literally. But let me play this.
The most popular fruit in the world. But I want to tell you a story you've probably never heard about how bananas have come to us at an unthinkable cost.
En mi vida hubo un cambio en la salud completamente mal.
It's a story about an extremely toxic pesticide, a chemical that may have deprived tens of thousands of people of the ability to have children in Latin America and across the world.
I had no idea at all that we had any kind of a process that could do such a thing to a human being.
It's a pesticide known as dibromochloropropaned, DBCP for short. Developed by multinational corporations Dow and Shell, it was meant to protect crops from a particularly harmful pest. It was effective and cheap, so fruit companies like Dole and Chiquita purchased the pesticide in massive quantities for their banana plantations at home and abroad. But there was something absolutely horrific about DBCP. It could cause permanent sterility in men.
¿Y quiénes aquí son estériles? Por favor, levante la mano.
For the tens of thousands of farm workers who spent years working with it or near it, repeated exposure to DBCP meant they might never be able to have children, ever.
How did that make you feel? ¿Cómo te sentiste?
After realizing its side effects, the US banned DBCP, but American companies continued to buy it and apply it on their banana plantations abroad.
Ahora, el capitalismo cuida al capitalismo, y nosotros quién nos cuida.
But for the past several decades, these farm workers, many of them now retired, have been fighting back.
Trabajó muchos años y nunca le pagaron a él un 5 de la bananera.
They're known as the afectados, the affected ones in Spanish. And in their old age and ailing bodies, they're filing lawsuits against some of the biggest corporations in the world.
Todavía estamos luchando hasta que Dios lo llame a cuenta.
I'm not going to abandon these workers who have been exploited and harmed by American corporations.
Estoy tratando de hablar con administradores, nadie quiere hablar conmigo.
Hay gente que son muy cobardes.
Le demuestren a los gringos lo que han hecho con nosotros, porque nosotros no somos perros, somos gente.
That was a test run just for a show, just to pull this up. I get back to that. Dioxin poisoning. Now they told you they got poisoning on their side too, right? See, you know what I'm saying? They got poison on their side, you know what I'm talking about. This is dioxin poisoning. Dioxins are a group of toxic organic chemical compounds that are similar in structure. The United States Environmental Protection Agency classified in 3 groups, but all 3 of them tetrachlorine, P-dioxin, TCDD is most toxic and a known carcinogen of cancer-causing material. The compounds are lipophilic, which means they can be stored in fat. They are stable compounds that take years to break down. Their half-life or the amount needed.
Stay right there. Okay. Go back to that line. Read that last line you just read.
Oh, they take years to break down.
No, go back. Up. Read the one before them.
Lipophilic? Is that it? Oh, can be stored in fat.
Can be stored in fat. Stay right there. Animal fat. Because we later, me and mom, you know what's crazy? You know why you talking about this? Me and mom and she had did it. We were just talking about prostate cancer, like, because she was like, oh man, the men and stuff, man, the men is just messed up. Our men used to be so, masculine, and you know what I'm saying? And she like, they started messing with the prostate. And we just went on a search. And we pulled up what was the major, she did the shit with the AI thing. But it talked about forever chemicals, and it talked about one of the main corporate is orange. What?
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange. And then it went down the rabbit hole of, that's how we got to the diet. I'm giving you road how we got to the dioxins. Dioxins is a major component in what they use for the Agent Orange, which was pretty much a pesticide, pretty much for like, you know, but they was using it over there in the Vietnamese War and all that stuff. That they also use it here in America in certain crops that the compound, the dioxin compound, you know, I mean the toxin, dioxin. Yeah. So it's a major, and like you said, this stuff is used for in a lot of stuff. Bleach, like you said, chlorine, like you mentioned it. So it's in chlorine. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
The compound, yeah, toxic. Like you said, man, you can read all the signs that it causes, like the possible damage it causes, being exposed to it.
Well, we got one of the biggest companies right here in Virginia. Well, no, across the world actually, but pause the damn thing. And that was that. And this is DuPont. No, DuPont, another chemical place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Procter and Gamble.
And the guy gonna talk about it in the video. But what I'm telling you is that, see, it's mighty funny. We don't know that. Well, some of us know it, but
no, I just found out about it. I didn't know that. Like you said that. You know what I'm saying? We know they was doing something, but we are getting the names of this stuff now. Like they turn it into environmental thing, environmental hazard. You know what I mean?
Now they claim the governor of Pennsylvania, which I was playing earlier. I was looking for some stuff on firefighters actually, but then they said Pennsylvania governor, who is Jewish, by the way. They said they don't know if it's hate crime. They said the Pennsylvania governor, somebody tried to set the governor mansion on fire, but he was in another room, blah, 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 right? I'm like, okay. They said the guy got away and jumped over a 7-foot fence.
Like he was Batman or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I need a ninja. they said Assassin's Creed when you try to get that nigga.
Man, right?
Damn, right?
They say, yeah, this is the governor's mansion down there in Pennsylvania, or whatever, the governor's house or whatever.
No cameras, huh? No security, no cameras, huh? They ain't. God damn.
They say they don't know whether it was a hate crime or just whatever. But they did mention he was Jewish, by the way, which I already knew that. But that's okay. Never mind. Fuck it.
Just because you Jewish don't mean, and somebody does something to you doesn't mean it's a hate crime, though. So just because they're saying that, just because it's a Jewish guy,
I want to know who burned the goddamn house. Fuck all that. And they say the suspect.
Where the cameras at?
They say the suspect was arrested later this evening. Show me the suspect, right? I had to go late. But
man, we didn't see. Look here, man. We didn't see some of these stories of these ones allegedly lying and causing.
Well,
damn. Well, I tell you, bro, you're dealing with some real diabolical weasel ass people, bro. The shit that they come up with in their mind. The shit they got to sit back and think about, the concoct.
You know what? This is kind of crazy that they brought this up the other day. Now, this is a weird one right here because they said that they got immigrants trying to come on here on visas, right? Which I'm like, well, okay, whatever. But they said they were going to screen them for to find out if some of the immigrants come over here anti-Semitic views. I'm like, well, I'd be more worried about screening them for criminal history, anti-Semitic views. To me, that ain't no goddamn crime. I'm just letting you know. That's how I look. That's just kind of crazy, like, right?
I'm telling you.
So I'm just sitting there saying to myself, wait a minute now. That the Pennsylvania governor Jewish. Come on, man. And I want to know, watch this now. Here go my thing. I just asked the question. I need to see what the suspect look like. Is the suspect ever going to try to burn his house? I'm just saying. Because it might be because just saying, man. I just want to know. But I mean, like I told the guy, I'm not for it anyway. Because I just saying, fuck it. Put everybody out and let us be. We was fine before everybody else came along, right? So, but my thing is, you're screening people for some shit like that, man. I said, come on, man. But that's how I told you I told you, Frank, they were going with this all across the globe. Now they really going full blown with it. Now they just going all in.
Oh yeah, full throttle, man.
That's everybody. So they trying to get you in the trick bag. Because like you said just now, just pointing it out, you said just because they burned his house don't mean they had to be against him in that type of form, right? But they already giving you the impression that it is. see, they already giving you perception, or as you call case law. See where I'm going? Now, let's get the DuPont right quick.
Yeah, this is Holmesburg Prison. SEALs used to be up in there, keep an eye, get out of the head.
At the end of the 60s, Leotis Jones was a prisoner here in Holmesburg, a suburb of Philadelphia in the United States. A prisoner, but also a guinea pig for industry, like thousands of other inmates.
H-Block. This is where all the medical tests and the human experimentation was going on.
How many times have you taken that corridor?
Oh, man, about maybe 25, 30 times. You know, but there was different tests that they was running. And sometimes I was on like 2 tests at a time, you know?
Okay.
This practice was confidential at the time, because multinational chemical companies came here to test the risks of their products. To earn a few dollars, the prisoners participated in several tests, but none of them knew what they were being given.
What they would do, they would put the tape and stick it and pull it, stick it and pull it, stick it and pull it. Then they would put a drop of the substance, whatever it was that was in it, on that area.
And what happened after?
All over my body, my skin pigmentation got light in certain areas.
How long did it last?
About a year, somewhere around there. And they had you signing a paper stating that it was informed consent, but it was just a paper to waive them from being liable if anything go wrong.
One company did everything they could to keep this a secret. They even paid Leotis Jones for his silence. Dow Chemical. The leading manufacturer of plastics in the world, and the 3rd largest manufacturer of pesticides. Dow Chemical has an annual turnover of $48 billion and 50,000 employees around the globe. In the wake of this chemical giant, there's an industry of staggering profitability, an industry in a frantic race to innovate. Each year, their new toxic products reach the market. These multinationals all have one thing in common: a culture of secrecy.
You're following us.
Polluting lands, rivers, and groundwater. Behind the fumes of these factories, we have discovered tens of thousands of victims. In India, children are born with severe disabilities. In the US, those who have dedicated their lives to this industry.
Everybody wanted to go there because for the money, for the benefits, and it was secure.
Are now paying the price.
Those guys are all dead, and I should have been. Why'd they lie?
Faced with these tragedies, the chemical giants have adopted a specific course of action. Lack of transparency, cynicism, denial. In the meantime, they continue to reap the profits. In Holmesburg Prison, Dow experimented on the inmates with one of the most carcinogenic products in the world, dioxin. It's one of the molecules in...
Oh, Chak, it's funny that you was mentioning dioxin because I was actually looking at this morning earlier. So when you mentioned dioxin, I just thought it was just funny you sent me this because I had already but it's funny, but this is about DuPont. That's why I told you watch this. Ain't that funny, man? Ain't that funny? That's funny, right, Chak? Hey, look, man, they talk about dioxin too, right? See? It's a DuPont. This is a chemical doing. What do you think, Chak?
Agent Orange, the powerful herbicide that Dow produced for the American Army during the Vietnam War. The Air Force dumped it on the Viet Cong for a decade. At the same time, the tests were being performed at Holmesburg. From that time on, Dow was already aware of the dangers of dioxin. The company put it in writing in this confidential note from June 1965. Dioxin is exceptionally toxic. Some months later, Dow would study its side effects on the prisoners.
Hey, man, what can I say? And there's no way in the world, if they would have informed us back then, that we would participate. No, I wouldn't have. They were trying to cover it up.
He said if he knew then, he wouldn't have participated. See that, Chak? So you ain't know about dioxin, Chak. See? So don't feel bad. He didn't know about it. You didn't know about it. But hey, that's the cost of doing business, ain't it?
Damn.
Damn. So, here you go right here. Oh, shoot. Since you're talking about that, because there was an oil spill the other day. I forgot what the hell damn thing was that. It just happened the other day. Oh, did it? Matter of fact.
And the winner is T-Mobile Home Internet, J.D. Power's #1 in customer satisfaction. Excuse us, T-Mobile.
The Keystone Oil Pipeline has shut down after it ruptured in North Dakota. This is halting the flow of thousands of gallons of crude oil from Canada to refineries in the U.S. Officials say an employee working at the site near Fort Ransom heard a mechanical bang and shut down the pipeline within about 2 minutes. Emergency crews responded to an oil spill near the pump station, and it's unclear right now what caused the pipeline to rupture. Officials say no people, structures, or nearby streams are affected by the spill. However, the pipeline shutdown could lead to higher gas prices in the coming days. Last year, the pipeline transported more than 26 million gallons of oil.
Yeah, this happened in North Dakota. I think Kristen Noem in South Dakota, but yeah, that just happened the other day. You know what? Come think about it.
Interesting.
The gas did go up quite to like $3.19 or something like that the other day. Come think about it. Maybe I don't know. Kind of interesting.
Telling you.
But,
all connected,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, kind of crazy, right? But yeah, that happened the other day.
It's all connected, man.
Gas prices dropped recently, but new concerns could move them in the other direction.
That is if a Midwest pipeline doesn't get back up and running soon. Our Jeff Wagner joins us now to explain what drivers need to know. Hi there, Jeff.
Hi, Amelia. There is a massive cleanup effort underway in North Dakota right now. That's where the Keystone Pipeline sprung a leak Tuesday morning. About 3,500 barrels of oil spilled out into a farm field after staff reported hearing a mechanical bang. The pipeline has been shut down since then as crews work to figure out what caused the spill. The good news for drivers is that refineries prepare for these types of disruptions and keep a large inventory of oil on site.
If it does get to 5 to 7 days of downtime, then it might be a little bit more problematic. But even if it goes beyond a week, even maybe 10 days, it probably would not be real noticeable when you go fill your tank up.
AAA reports a gallon of gas is averaging $3.15 today in Minnesota. That's down 7 cents from a week ago. So hopefully.
Now, my thing is, I ain't worried about the gas thing so much. I'm looking at what's going on in that water. Oil spill in water, that affect your fish, life, all that stuff. Right. So anybody ever, that's what I always look at when they bring these things up. That because water travels.
Just like Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, water travels.
Nobody talk about that no more, you know.
Is it important? Now they're saying they got a wolf they bringing back.
Wait, what you been bringing?
Groundbreaking science.
Bro.
They say they got a wolf species they bringing back. I was like, go these birds, man, come back with the dead, damn it. Yeah.
Scientific achievement, a US-based biotechnology firm called Colossal Biosciences claims to have successfully resurrected the dire wolf, a species that became
resurrected. Easter Sunday coming up, baby. Easter Sunday, baby. Resurrection, baby. Resurrection.
extinct, believe it or not, around 12,500 years ago. The dire wolf, previously known only through fossil records and popularized, of course, by the fantasy drama television series Game of Thrones, have now made a real-world return. The fluffy white canines, 3 of them, Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, have been brought to life using ancient DNA cloning and gene editing technology.
Man, wait a minute now. Hold on, man. What the hell kind of wolf is this, man? Yeah, what kind of wolf is this? Is this a zombie wolf? What the fuck is going on? This is some Jurassic Park shit? Hey, man. Oh, by the way, Frank, came from the Game of Thrones, by the way. Pay attention. You heard him say.
See, this is distraction, man. This is ridiculous.
To alter the genes of a grey wolf, the prehistoric dire wolf's closest living relative. The result is essentially a hybrid species, similar in appearance to its extinct forerunner. Before we delve into the science of de-extinction, let's tell you a little more about dire wolves. They were large canines that dominated southern Canada and America before they went extinct about 13,000 years ago. They resembled the grey wolves of today, but were larger and had white coats. A dire wolf weighed 3.5 feet tall, more than 6 feet in length, and weigh up to 68 kilos. They hunted horses, bison, possibly mammoths as well. When many of those prey species became extinct, probably partly due to human hunters, the dire wolf may have also gone extinct. Now, while Romulus and Remus are 6 months old and stand 4 feet tall and weigh about 36 kilos, their sister, Khaleesi, is just...
Now, you got to be crazy as hell to do some shit like this.
Oh, man.
But they say they no longer extinct, baby. And now, to the women. Unfortunately, Frank, another woman dies from cosmetic surgery. In Florida, of course. I don't know, Frank.
Well, tonight only.
I was talking to a guy today, man, and we was talking, man, and we was in the gym, man, and we were talking about these women and stuff, you talking about, how the white girls in there was, lifting it, doing the squat machines, and, getting whatever. Whatever. And he was just saying, how the sisters, his girl go gym with him, go walking in the morning. He was like, just because it's cold outside don't mean you got to walk in. When I actually had text one, I told her, what you in hibernation all damn winter or something? You know what I'm saying? Right? That's what he asked. I actually in hibernation. Hey, look, you ain't going outside. We're not going outside. What you in hibernation? Right? But he was just saying, like the weight and stuff and all that stuff. So, and then we talked about it, right? And so we laughed. We were just talking. So, and then we talked about it. So he was just saying, should I stay in shape, weight gain, stuff like that. And I told him, well, a lot of them is either getting tummy tuck now or losing the weight, other ways. And some of them even getting the BBL surgery. He said he ain't with that. He said, I'm 65 years old. He's like, I'm not with that crazy shit. So I told him about a young woman dying on tape. Matter of fact, we had a woman the other day that stopped traffic around here or something. She jumped over the overpass and killed herself. Right.
Damn.
Yeah, like 35 minutes away, right? Crazy shit. So, I mean, that's just another thing. I mean, but that's just how it is, man. I mean, I'm just telling you what happened. I don't know. But here's a story about the woman right here.
On 6, we are hearing from the family of a young mother who came to Miami from Las Vegas for a cosmetic procedure and died hours later inside a home advertising as a post-surgery recovery house.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri spoke with the woman's mother and has why she is calling for change to keep others safe.
Monique's mother, Wakila, tells me she wants to share her daughter's story, but asked not to show her face on camera in an effort to protect her privacy as she mourns the loss of her first child. It was supposed to be an adventure documented on social media. We get us some coffee right now, though. Two sisters traveling to South Florida from Nevada to get cosmetic surgery and recover together.
They were really excited.
According to their mother, 28-year-old Monique Miller and her 19-year-old sister Kiera both underwent procedures at Havana Plastic Surgery Clinic on West Flagler Street in early March. Afterward, she says they came here to a business operating out of this home on Southwest 4th Street called Kayla's Recovery House. According to their family, the sisters learned of this so-called recovery house through social media, and that's how they decided to stay here following their surgery. But Monique never made it home.
I have to remind myself every day that this is real. Monique is not coming back.
Monique's mother, Wakila, tells me she wants to share her daughter's story. Monique was a new mother herself to a 1-year-old girl.
My daughter's supposed to be here with her daughter, and unfortunately, she's not.
Instead, according to this Miami police report, officers and fire rescue crews responded to the house the night of March 7th, which they say was operating as an illegal post-plastic surgery recovery home. Inside, they found Monique already dead and showing signs of rigor mortis, an indication she had likely been dead for hours. They describe her as heavily bandaged, face down on a bed.
From what Kiara is saying, that a muscle relaxer was given and possibly multiple Percocets.
Her sister Kiara also told police staff gave Monique medication, which is redacted in this report. She went to sleep, but never woke up.
First, the response was, she's fine, nothing is wrong. But once they realized that she had passed away, then it wasn't that they treated it like an emergency, but panic started to set in.
To be clear, we don't know yet what exactly caused Monique's death.
That's correct.
At this time, the medical examiner has not linked any medication to Monique's death and is still working to determine the cause and manner of death. We contacted an attorney for the woman who runs Kayla's Recovery, Kayla Oliver, to ask about all of this. He told us we don't comment on pending investigations.
Someone like you have been reporting on this for 4 years. So where's the legislation? Where's the follow-up?
It's a unlicensed assisted living facility operating as a recovery house for post.
We've previously reported on the growing number of unlicensed recovery houses operating in South Florida, the law enforcement efforts to shut them down, and calls for tougher laws.
Monique is not the first And I hope that she really is the last that this happens to.
Wakila says the state has an obligation to enact policies that protect the women who travel here for cosmetic procedures, women like her daughter.
It is a big deal. A little girl is not without her mother today.
We reached out to Ivana, the clinic where Amanique had her surgery, but have not yet heard back. Miami police say her death remains under investigation.
I just don't know what kind of surgery they had. That's all I need. I don't know what kind of surgery they had. So, I mean, you know, that's what I mean. Hey,
salute, Dawson.
What's the word, my good brothers?
Shoot. Talk about this woman that went to his recovery house there in Miami and make it back.
Yeah, I saw you play that. Yeah, probably in there trying to get a BBL.
Well, yeah, her sister went.
Damn. Then Vivica Fox got one, so they probably figured they can get one. She's 60, so you know, they figure shoot. Why not go for it? 60-year-old.
You know what?
What Shaq always say, vanity over sanity, huh?
Yeah. My word is somebody I was talking to the other day. I was talking to y'all, and I told Shaq I can't remember what I was talking about. But then I had, speaking of you, Doug, I had my nephew with me today, right? And his mom gave me some pizza. I'm like, why the hell she give me a whole pizza? Like, little, I ain't what? She like, I want you just take it, because I don't want him to have the bread. I said, what the hell? I said, I forgot what it was. And I forgot to tell you the other day that he had got diagnosed with diabetes. Ain't that some shit? Right? Yeah. So
that's all that medication she got him on for that. His man.
I said that. So we gotta get to walk on me and stuff like that. But I told you got start picking up the pace stuff walking. So I said let's do it.
Well, you gotta find out what medicine she got him on, because that blows them up. A lot of that mental medication or autistic medication, that's what you gotta figure out which one's causing weight gain.
I think I got. Matter of fact, let me go there.
Because some make them eat a lot, or some make them gain and retain fluids. Some make them lose their appetite, or it can do both. 1 minute they binge and eat, next they feel like they want to eat, but then they don't eat.
Mm-hmm. So got that going on. So just not day in life. But look, as a matter of fact, come to think about it, I might. Let me go downstairs a little bit. I might be able to find that medication. I think I think he left one around here by mistake. We might go check it out. But that going on, then the ALS thing. See, this been some wild shit going on at this bitch lately. Oh, and by the way, Dawson, just when you think that wasn't good enough Friday, I know you said about the sister girls. I don't know the sister girl who this was, but out there about 35 minutes, man, a woman Friday just was on the overpass and just jumped her to death, just jumped off the bridge. Yeah, I'm like, yo, crazy shit, right? Like, what the hell? I'm like, yo, shit. Not to mention all these shootings over here, but me and a guy was talking about what you just was jumping the BBLs and all that, right? And he was just saying, he's 64, 65 years old. Guy always talk to me. And he always talking in the gym and stuff. And he was like, he was just looking out the glass, and he was looking at the white girl, doing the squat machines and trying to get the butt. I said, don't be fooled though. Some of these motherfuckers taking these shots, these hormone shit too. Because I said, I don't know what they do. They ain't getting all this goddamn thing. Now, it's mighty funny you said that this happened today, because I know you call on America's most unwanted. Well, check this out today. I got one to tell you, because I'm doing a lot of events and stuff, and I was just talking to one of my homegirls today, and she was like, BJ, have you realized this new thing going on? I said, what? I said, I don't know what's new. Ain't nothing new in the sun. She was like, I went out last week. Frank, this some funny shit now. She said, I don't know what's up with these young chicks. I said, well, what you mean? What's going on with them? What they doing? She like, I have never been out to a club before and had young women feeling on my ass more than men are. That's what she told me. Yeah. I said, okay. I said, then how do you want me to look at them? Were they bulldaggers? She ain't no. They dressing like regular women. And she like, they were dancing with each other, slapping each other's ass and shit. I said, okay. I said, so what's the problem? She was like, I'm like, what the fuck wrong with these bitches? I said, they think you look good, I guess. Oh, she like, they walk past me smiling. She like, this shit creepy. I said, I told you this shit creepy. So I tell her, well, if it make you feel any better, just to make you feel better. I had a woman tell me straight into my face, last. She like, VJ, sometimes I like talking to you, but I like dealing with. She like, I never had a girlfriend before, but I always thought about doing it sometime. I said, okay. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's about how men act crazy and all this other shit, right? Whatever, man, the beat her windshield in or some crazy stuff. I said, you just dealing with nut. That's all you. I don't know what the fuck. Something going on in there, but yeah. So that's why I don't know. You call American most morning, everybody in the goddamn psycho clinic is like that. I don't know which way we look at this thing, man. But that's just, par for the course, right? But
wow.
So they're going to show you that it is American One. Now watch this. Since we were talking about the recovery house, watch this now.
Only on 6 tonight, a woman arrested for the second time accused of operating an unlicensed recovery house for people who had cosmetic surgery is now speaking out in an exclusive interview.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri spoke with Monica Garcia inside the recovery home. She says that she ran until recently.
For the first time, our team is getting a look inside this recovery house. A business called Oasis Retreat Miami. The woman who runs the business, Monica Garcia, sat down with us just 1 week after she and her daughter Laura, who owns Oasis, were arrested.
The only thing is, we don't have a license. And they say that that's illegal because we don't have a license. But we don't kill nobody.
Mother and daughter are accused of operating an unlicensed recovery house at another home on Southwest 143rd Court and 24th Street last month. Our cameras were there as investigators with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant at that home for the second time.
Part of their investigation has led them to this residence, which they have been here in the past.
2 years earlier, Garcia was arrested for the same crime at this same location.
So that property is not licensed as a recovery home?
That's correct. It's not licensed.
Garcia tells us, unlike the previous case, which ended with her completing a pretrial diversion program, this time she was operating Oasis with a provisional assisted living facility license. But due to a plumbing emergency, had to relocate the women staying here to another ALF. Then she says that facility started having electrical issues.
I don't have any other solution that's sent to the ladies right there.
No option, she claims, but to send the women to the unlicensed property, where she says her staff takes good care of patients. With so many people traveling to South Florida for outpatient cosmetic procedures, a great number find themselves in search of a place to recuperate.
The recovery is just as important as the actual procedure. And so it brings about a great risk to a lot of these people.
And most patients, Monica says, often arrive experiencing complications from their surgeries.
What do you want to say to the regulators who say we need licensing, we need guidelines and inspections to make sure we're keeping people safe?
They need to work with us. They need to be our partners. They need to be our friends.
not our enemies.
Current regulations require recovery houses be licensed as assisted living facilities through Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration.
And it's pretty hard to get this license. We need a solution.
Garcia believes they need their own designation due to the demand for this type of service.
How many homes have you had at any time operating at once? Eso no lo puedo contestar. No? No. You don't want to answer?
Right now?
No. Okay.
An advisor intervened, telling her not to answer. She and her daughter are fighting their current charges.
So I'm worried, even for me, for my daughter, because it's her future.
With no change planned for state law, we asked Garcia if she will keep operating recovery houses.
If the law don't change, it's a hard issue. If they arrest me, don't mean that this would be a stop.
ACA tells us the provisional license was issued to Oasis when Laura Garcia applied for a change of ownership from the person who previously ran an ALF at that location. Ultimately, ACA denied the application and did not issue a permanent license, citing several deficiencies during their inspections. Garcia tells us they want to appeal that decision. Amy Viteri, NBC6 News.
Wow.
Didn't I tell you these foreigners among us, what they come here to do? It's all about money. They don't care. First of all, she ain't even licensed. I'm like a medical profession. So you don't need to have a license to a recovery house. The patients come there with complications. Well, why would you even accept them? Go back to your surgeon or the facility you came from. Call your doctor. You can't come here. Because if I had to do that and I had a license and a pay, you got to go back and call 911 and have them go back to the facility they came from. So call a surgeon. You can't jeopardize you. They said, because she said some people died in there, right, BJ?
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention. Totally, a lot of them come over here is to suck up the milk and honey out of America.
Scheme and scam.
Scheming and scamming. Scheming and scamming.
Hey, look, but somebody wanted a cheap way out, obviously.
Absolutely, that's true too.
Hey, look.
I guess they doing recovery houses because when they fly to state, so they BBL or the rest of their plastic surgery don't collapse, lapse. I remember my stupid cousin took her 15-year-old daughter. She and her was in her 40s at that time over the Dominican Republic and get a breast implant, but she almost bled to death.
Damn.
And still can't have several men, but she got too many miles on them. She got too many miles on them. You could do all that, but you can't keep them. You got too many miles on them.
Well,
look. So to me, that was a waste of money.
Yep. Well.
And it's funny because I don't know. I guess some of these men can tell, even the people we go with, because we were on trips and from the American men to the people in the islands, the Caribbean islands, they got all similar hue color. They sure would say she had work on her. I mean, I'm just saying, I wouldn't say nothing, but the men know. They do know.
Well, let me play this right quick. This is interesting. I just want to show you. Chak brought up about the autism, but
diagnosed with ALS last month, and after nearly 2 decades of service, he had to retire.
Joel Vasquez spoke with his colleagues about how they're stepping up to help.
That's your girlfriend, BJ?
Yep.
Yeah, firefighter.
Wow.
And served with the Richmond Fire Department for 17 years. In fact, this is exactly where he sat on Fire Engine 10. His colleagues tell me that he is selfless and would do anything to help anyone, which is why they were devastated when he received his ALS diagnosis. Now this team is stepping up for him. Outside of Fire Station 17 on Semmes Avenue, Engine 10 is parked. The truck Lieutenant Kevin Harrison was in charge of.
A jack of all trades, very knowledgeable guy, very hardworking guy, very dedicated to his craft, and very committed to the job.
Kevin and his best friend Darrell Johnson grew up together in the Broad Rock neighborhood. Darrell became a firefighter in 2006.
Now, just want to put this out there that what me and these guys played ball together. We went out there. We went a lot of places together. I mean, we still see each other today sometimes, man. You know, not Kevin as much, but the other guy, real friend of the family, great people. So just shout out to them. But yeah, they been working 5 departments. Shit, damn. They might be down at the same time, basically. When they telling you that, but past that fire station all the time. Down in my aunt's house, and we been knowing these guys since I've been 15 years old, 16 years old. So actually even younger than that, probably about 14. We all played ball at Burr Rock Elementary. I mean, you know, we summer camp, get up at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, just get up and go play basketball. Where you going, Bernard? I'm getting my bike and going there. All right, well, come back at about 8 o'clock at night. That moment you used to say, right. She's been gone 7 years now, April 4th, 2018. So, yeah, but she said, where you going? I'm going to play ball with my friends. All right, cool. Basketball, football, whatever. So all these guys, we all looked out for each other. And we still friends to this day. So I just want to put that out there.
6, and it wasn't long until Kevin became one too.
We're like brothers. We argue, we laugh, we joke, we cry together, we play sports together, shoot pool together. We do almost everything together.
But everything began to change last April. Kevin started to complain about his back after a call one day. He took some time off and was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And about a year later, he found out he developed ALS, forcing him to retire.
To see him up and moving around and playing sports and just being mobile, so now he's in the wheelchair.
According to the Muscular Dystrophy Association, firefighters are twice as likely to develop the progressive disease.
He needs help with daily activities like brushing his teeth and using the restroom. It's just sad for a big, strong guy like Kevin to need assistance like this.
That's why his brothers and sisters in service are stepping up to help.
We're just like, there's something more that we can always do.
They started selling these shirts, spreading awareness for ALS. They also set up this GoFundMe to help pay for his treatment and support the single father of 5, his kids ranging from 7 to 14 years old. In less than a week, they've been able to raise more than $28,000, and Goodwill even donated an electric wheelchair.
It's just beautiful to see everyone stepping up and giving back to Kevin, because Kevin deserved it. He put his life on the line for 17 years to serve and protect the community and the city of Richmond.
In Richmond, Joel Vasquez, 12 on your side.
Tell you a little wild story about the guy talking. Tell you some wild shit, man. I gotta tell y'all this. So I was staying in this apartment one time, right? And you know, the apartment had a fire, you know, what they call it, the flue, you know, the thing where you close the fire. And I had fell asleep and I had closed the flue. The fire just started spreading in the house and shit, right? So anyway, I was like, you know, loud bangs started knocking on the door. What the fuck going on in this motherfucker? Who banging my door? The Richmond Fire Department. Boom, 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 boom. And like, BJ, what the fuck is going on? I said, man, ain't no damn fire. I just forgot to cut the shit close. I just forgot to leave the flue open. They're like, yeah, we thought the fire burning that chimney and shit. So they had to get me out of there. And then they had to go in there and just basically call smoke detectors or whatever. But just that shit was crazy, right? But yeah, that happened. So, but yeah, that's my guy, man. You know, call him anytime. We all, you know, play ball, watch sports, you know, big time Cowboys, Lakers fan, whatever the case may be. But great guys. So nothing but great things to say about them. This ALS thing did keep catching a lot of people off surprise, but I'm glad they raised some money and stuff like that. So shout out to them. Kind of tough because this guy 37, 38 years old, but I mean, hey, life always got a way to let you know, hey, look, You're not invincible. Like I told you, I ain't praying no Jesus. Matter of fact, they got a new AI depicted of Jesus. So, but yeah, shout out to them for always looking out for me and other people as well. A lot of people respect them, so just paying my respects to them as well. That's all I want to say about that. So tough one. And he claimed the disease has no cure, but I mean, hey, we'll see. Just tough one for me on that one. So personally and professionally, so things happen. I mean, just I don't know, but I didn't know about the firefighter thing, but I don't know. I mean, that one got a lot of people by surprise. So I got my own.
Why so he a single father? He raising his kids by himself?
I say why they say he a single father.
Yes, he raising 5 kids by himself.
Now the last time I checked, years ago, because he was married. I don't know if he got divorced. I don't know in that what happened. Because I told you I hadn't seen him in a while. I used to see him, come in the stores or be out, at the fire station, whatever. And I hadn't seen him, and then I found out this, but they said it, like I told you, they said his back was hurting and he got some sclerosis. But when I saw him, he used to live in the West End of Richmond. He was married or he just got married. So something might have happened that time. Like I told you, when it comes to this thing, marriage is like sometimes you hear and then next thing is over. I mean, I did a wedding for my buddy. I be with all the time 6 years ago now. And next thing you know, he texted me. No, he called me one day. By the way, when I was in Baltimore, me and we together. And I said, he said, hey man, I finally divorced my wife. I said, dude, I said, let me ask you a question. I told him straight up. So y'all paying me to DJ these weddings and events only for y'all to be divorced in 4 years, right? I said, this shit crazy as hell, right? I said, man, I need to be refunding you your money now. You know what I'm saying? I need to refund you.
Wow.
But what I'm saying is this thing with marriage and stuff, you don't know how this thing is going. Man, my buddy, another buddy, he just got married yesterday. So hopefully it lasts. But like I said, I mean, but then if he ain't married no more, then he is a single father of 5. And them kids, like I tell you, all range 7 to 14. So,
I know they little, they're young. Ooh.
Some of them play football too. You saw them in the football helmets. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I ain't always been a great guy. Like I tell you, you've been working fire stations. We've been 20 years old. So I mean, started out real young, doing it. So big setback for a lot of people around here. But like I said, this is, whew. I was like, man, that kind of did throw me off rock for a little bit. But we getting back up now, okay? Like, man, we getting back up. So I gotta call you guys actually. I'm gonna go around there, but they say you've been going to like the gym or kind of walking and stuff. You got, because when these things like this happen, you still got to try to at least maintain a a semblance of stuff. Like I always, even now you tell my own nephew, they say you got this, but whatever, you'll be fine in some aspects anyway. Now, this other thing with diabetes thing, that's a whole nother thing. That's another thing you got to deal with. But I had the name of the medication too, though, so I just can't think of it right now. Like I said, this shit. I tell you, man, sometimes when you get hit with like 5 things at one time, sometimes even somebody like me, I might slip up with this shit. But it's a good thing, like I always tell people, I can always try to put the pieces together on this thing because, like I said, now I told him, you know, you gotta start walking 2 miles with me. You gotta start hanging out with me more now if you got this. Now, unfortunately, you know, like I told you, next Sunday Easter. So, what are you doing on Easter Sunday? Well, you know, you probably didn't eat. So I told you that's no story. Shit. Right. But it is what it is. You know, everybody got some issues, but this ain't, I'm gonna be down. This ain't time to be sick right now. I'm just letting you know this is not time to be sick. I'm just letting you know. I was talking to a guy the other day, Dawson. I mean, guy, you know, just being honest with you, Dawson. Yes, when I was little, this guy used to be like a neighborhood goddamn tattletale, and me and my boys used to fuck his car, throw eggs and shit on his fucking car. Shit. But yeah, we throw eggs and lotion on his car. I said, my mom said, y'all need to stop throwing eggs stuff in his car. You know, that guy, he told me he gonna shoot your butt if they keep doing that shit. Right? I said, damn. I said, why the fuck he up at 3 o'clock at night anyway? She like, he got a problem with his prostate. This was years ago. I was a teenager then. Yeah. So we're going 20 years later. At a friend house the other day, guy said, BJ, I need you to help me out with something. I said, cool, whatever. So I'm over there. He said, you know, White is sick. I said, what's going on with him? Well, he got throat cancer. I said, what? Okay, whatever. So he had two options. One, he could either get a trach in his throat or he could get the radiation. He took the radiation chemo thing. So he said, I'm going to tell him to call you. Call me. Voice real raspy like. I said, how old is this guy now? Because, you know, we grew up in a neighborhood. He's 75 years old. So I'm like, damn. Right. I'm like, yo, throat cancer? So he was another one guy in the military. So me and Chak was always talking about, we talk about jab, Agent Orange, we talk about all this stuff. And that's why earlier I was thinking about the oil spill out there in the Keystone Pipeline oil spill earlier, stuff like that. So a lot of things going on. But I just want to tell people, if you got some health issues right now, people need to reach out to people that they really know and love, and not these doctors and shit like that. Because these motherfuckers, I'm just telling you, man, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, I tell you, they tried to hit me with a ton of bricks, but I gotta keep on swinging, man. So it is what it is. Now this story, since we talk about firefighters, Frank, I told you this earlier. Oh, and by the way, Dawson, you sent me some things on this with this guy, Kamala Anthony guy. I played that at the beginning of the show. By the way, I want to bring that to you. That's a group called Next Generation Action Network in Dallas, Texas. Since sacked the number and all that, they got some BLM ties, obviously. Matter of fact, come think about it, the guy's minister name. The guy minister.
Is who? You say his minister?
Yeah, the guy started because the attorney is Billy. One of them named Kim Cole, another one named Billy something. I forgot the last name, but they done dropped the case. Billy Clark, and they done gave it to this white attorney named Mike Howard, right? Okay. But I had to look him up. So I was like, who this guy this guy named Alexander. So I went and looked him up, and they got this thing called Next Generation Action Network. They started in 2014. And I said, well, let me go do some digging. Let me do some digging into him. I said, okay. Oh, and then when I went and dig to him, he out there with who? Jasmine Crockett.
There you go. There you go.
I said, oh, okay. So then I had to go look at, what is it, the Hodge twins and Hirsch twins. One of these boys, they donated money to this guy named Metcalf, right? Right. So that let me know that this is being controlled by two fractions, conservative, liberal, and they're making a hustle on both sides of that. Making money. They said this guy got buried yesterday. What's his name? Metcalf or something like that. So I said, okay. But I did realize they got a new attorney and they're gonna have a hearing tomorrow. So see what happens. But I had to sit back because when I started seeing everybody jump in, I said, this thing sounds a little peculiar. And I said, look at it. I said, okay, so they making money on this on both ends, but it's Next Generation Action Network. They support education, legals, LGBTQ, and some other shit. I forgot. I read the shit earlier, but
I knew the LGBTQ was coming.
It's in there. They support Black and brown, but they it's a minister named Alexander. That's what I can tell you. They had a whole press conference and thing. They started in 2000. They started in 2014. But I realized something. I was thinking about it when you were talking about it. Notice Benjamin Cooper and they jump on this one. You see that, right?
Yeah. Now ambulance chaser ain't gonna touch this. Ambulance chaser ain't gonna touch this. Oh no. Oh no.
Damn.
I don't think they want the money. He said, I ain't even want to
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Now, he there you go. Remains to be seen. But I know they didn't see them, so they obviously got some other attorney, and they gave this one to a white attorney this time too. So I'm just saying, something smells made it.
I don't know. I saw what Chak posted and Kulik posted about, the comparison with him and Kyle Rittenhouse, which we had been saying that there's several case laws that could be I don't know. Hopefully, I didn't know the boy ran off because my neighbor today told me he ran off. Carmelo, I guess, when they got into it, he ran off. I didn't know he ran off after he, they attacked him and he,
You want to know what's so funny that you said Rittenhouse this morning? I was out driving. And I made a turn in the parking lot. And you wouldn't believe it, the turn in the parking lot was called Rittenhouse Drive. No bullshit.
Surprise.
And
I won't be surprised.
And it's got a Kroger and a TJ Air Fridays right there. But now, according to, since it is the 13th, April 13th, Sunday, Frank did send me this earlier about I had told Frank about it actually. The governor of Pennsylvania house got set on fire. So he said, right.
What a coincidence. Ain't that the one that been harboring illegal aliens and underage children? Didn't he get a call for that? The one that admitted he was housing them. And his ain't that him? I think that's him.
Well, Shapiro.
And they asked Tom Holman about it. I think that's him. Is that him, Shapiro? Which one is it? I know it was one of them. Said he was harboring. Yeah, he didn't want them to get deported or something.
Well, one thing I know about Shapiro, they brought it up. Yeah, that's very interesting. But what's the guy named Shapiro? They said that they don't know whether it's a hate crime because he is Jewish. So they did say that. And they said, but they said they got the guy who now they said they arrested the guy. But one of the things they said in the story was the guy jumped over a 7-foot fence. Now I can jump my ass off, and I ain't jumping on no motherfucking 7-foot fence.
Nobody out there, yeah.
Unless I climb up the bitch. And first of all, I ain't even trying to climb on no fence. Shit, walk around that bitch.
These small hats, they really want petty for them, don't they?
Well,
I'm just saying. White folks getting a little anxious with these small hats. Did you play any clips from that Joe Rogan interview with that guy Dave Smith and the little smile hat and the smile hat that was on there? Did y'all see them? Y'all gotta go watch that. That was a good debate. That was an excellent debate. Y'all gotta go watch because the guy David Smith, he made valid points. He was like, so you mean to tell me it's okay to slaughter women and children for some land? Like you think that's okay?
I don't know.
Who's debating now? Who's debating?
Huh?
Who's debating?
If you go on Joe Rogan Experience, you type in David Smith. I forget the smile head. The name of the smile head guy he was debating. But David Smith made a lot of valid points because he was stating that, well, just like all of us, right? We don't want nobody to get slaughtered for their land because what you want, right? Because, of course, eventually that's going to start happening to us. I mean, we see it happening already with Maui, L.A. I mean, come on. Right.
Words, it's going to start happening. That's the whole point.
But Frank, that's what I'm saying. It's a trickle down. It's a trickle down effect. I mean, everybody can be expendable. We want your land. We want your resources. They know you ain't gonna move. Me and my neighbor talking about that today with the smart cities. They know you ain't gonna want to move. They look what they did to us down here when them winds was real high. Cause think of y'all. Come on now. Y'all notice? Well, I'm in Texas, but I ain't never. March have winds, but I ain't never seen no winds like this in March. Not like this intense. And we in April, and we still having the winds, and the temperature still cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm in Texas. It be 90 degrees, 95 degrees by now.
Well, let me bring up something to you right there. I'm glad you said that because that interview, they had that. I tell you, they be sometimes trying to run interference because on Monday, Yahoo was there. And
I didn't know that.
He was here Monday, and Donald Trump told him for the first time in American history, they're gonna have $1 trillion military budget.
See.
Excuse me, BJ. Excuse me.
They're gonna have.
Are you serious?
$1 trillion military budget.
Oh, I think I sent that to y'all.
Yahoo the other day.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go back and look for it, Frank.
Okay, now another thing.
Wow.
Go ahead. Another thing in that meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu, he was talking about tariffs on Israel and stuff like that, but he said y'all get $4 billion from America every year. Good job. Ted Monday said good job, right? All right. Then he also said with Gaza, we're not gonna have to buy Gaza. There's nothing to have. We're just gonna take it.
They're gonna take it, bro.
They gonna take it.
Just like
he said there's nothing to buy.
Yeah, they don't. Huh?
China, there's no real beef. Look, China owns certain things. Just like they try to back China down. This is all TikTok with ByteDance. Now they're trying to issue, and they're trying to they're trying to push TikTok for staying, but they're trying to they want it to be bought by an American country. I mean,
that's right. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
This is all a scare tactic. You see what I'm saying? This is all the scapegoat. America is full of shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to corner the market for the EV and all the electronics. Look at how what they threw out with the tariff things today. They said no tariff on electronics like cell phones.
I saw that. Yeah, cell phones, chips. I saw that. Frank.
Two main things that condition people the most and brainwash and keep people in the
pay attention.
The EMF waves and the motherfucking microwave.
Yes, sir.
Microwave wave.
Yes, sir.
Radiation waves. Come on, man. It's not a coincidence. And guess what? They've been doing. If you notice, the goods have been down. Goods like that been down for a reason. That TVs and stuff like this for a reason to keep it accessible.
Yeah, they gotta keep you. Yeah, they gotta keep you distracted.
Look at how high
Because
food
once you get up, yeah.
food is high, but electronics is down. Ooh.
Come on now. Come on.
That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Food high, but electronics is down. Oh.
Gotta keep you programmed in that matrix.
They good.
So you don't know what's going on.
And with some of the tariff shit is too. This is just gonna basically make more motherfucking hubs in Southeast Asia. This is what that is about too. People think, dude, this is all a game.
Wait a minute. A lot of India, wait a minute. Now you know India is getting a lot of that business too.
True.
For those,
the iPhones, they're gonna try to make a more iPhone hub.
Yeah.
But look, Elon and most of them are full of shit too, because guess where a lot of Tesla cars come from? China. This is all a game. You know, of Teslas come from China or made in China, right? It's all a game. The NSC, this is just the corner of the market for the EVs and for the electric vehicles and in the drones. This is just the corner of the market. To give all the money and profits to people like Elon Musk, Larry Ellison. You see what I'm saying? It's all. I mean, it's all applied.
I know they've been bombing. Somalia enough. They've been bombing Somalia enough because now Somalia.
Wait, what?
They've been bombing Somalia for years. That ain't nothing new.
Right.
That was going on the first Trump mission. They bombed Somalia. They didn't bomb Somalia so much. Somalia just said, "Hey, they got Starlink now. They ain't have it at first, but they got it now." Yeah. Yeah.
They got what now, BJ?
Starlink. They didn't have it at first, but they.
Starlink. Oh, okay. Damn.
T-Mobile picked up Starlink.
Yeah, T-Mobile too. That's another thing.
What?
But, still got Oracle, Larry Ellison. You still got.
But you know what? Something else I watched because they had that cabinet meeting the other day, and
Insider trading, baby.
Yeah, they talk about that too. They talk about the guy that made $900 billion off the stock market, and the other guy, Charles Schwab, or somebody made $2 billion or $1 billion.
Well, they putting the market on fire sale. But the people who really losing is the people who got their money in retirement accounts.
Did I say that, BJ? I said that earlier.
That was what's going on.
I mean, y'all saw Warren. See, you gotta watch when Warren Buffett making moves and pulling money out, and Ray Dalio. You better do exactly.
You said that 3 weeks ago, Dawson. You said this before this happened.
Yep.
But see, right. Just like I've been saying this with the trade stuff before this happened. I remember I said
money out of this shit.
I've been saying for weeks now about the stock market. Playing with the stock market. I've been saying this. I've been saying that. And I've been talking about that. Now everybody talking about insider trading. I was talking about this 3 weeks ago.
Right.
One, it's all controlled by algorithms, right? And for two, you see what I'm saying? Of course, you can give the insider on what's going to go on. With the tariffs and him, see, I didn't even know he was going to do a couple weeks ago. He's changing and going up and down like the damn Magic Mountain roller coaster with these damn tariffs.
Up and down.
That causes uncertainty. Uncertainty is, of course, going to bring the market down. That's facts.
I heard people think. I heard people put $6 trillion up out the banks because they thinking the banks gonna collapse.
And you know what? The bonds are at risk right now. The bonds are going.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the bond market at risk because I had read a story about a lady was she was scared about, I guess, some money she inherited from her dad, and her financial advisor was saying keep it in. She like, well, shit, I'm losing too much money. She like, should I put my money in bonds? I'm like, you better not put your money in that shit because they said one of the head people had to call Trump and them and say, hey, man, we going under with these bonds. You got to stop this shit. And that's when he put it on some of the hedge fund people. He put it on pause. And they talking about the Federal Reserve may have to bail them out for $2 trillion. But I'm going to tell you what they're going to do next. Pay attention. Remember under Obama, right? They bailed out the banks, insurance companies, car companies.
Are you talking about a bail-in? Or what you talking about? Bail-in?
No, that's the bail. Remember bail-out. Remember bail-in and the Dodd-Frank Act happened after that under Obama in 2010. But now what they finna have to do too. Two things finna happen. The bank's collapsing, right? Well, with the Dodd-Frank Act, they're gonna be able to use your money you have in the bank to make the banks whole. Pay attention to that. Number two, and remember when CD19 hit, the pandemic hit, that Dodd-Frank Act specifically says, say you go to the bank, you want to withdraw, what it put a limit on how much you can withdraw. And people was making YouTube videos about it because when they went to go take money out to pay payroll or something like that, the bank restricted them if it was over like 10 or 20,000. And then two, what's gonna happen? People retirement finna collapse. This finna be the next bailout. They already talking about it.
I can see that coming.
People better get their money out that shit. Huh?
I'm gonna say this because it was one thing that it was this was in the cabinet meeting, so they were talking about
that clip. BJ, I just sent you it right now. The whole thing.
I'm about to play it. They mentioned about
I want to see that
the immigrants, and they were talking about basically Trump was just saying like for the immigrants on the farms and hotels, the people can corporations or farmers can petition to keep them here if they're doing a good job and stuff. So, because I'm like, because all these hotels I've been going to the last couple weeks, I was like, I know they can get rid of these damn immigrants out of these hotels because they hate these motherfuckers. So
is it immigration or not? Is it immigration? Does he want immigration? Does he not want it?
There you go, Frank. That's the question. All this flip-flopping shit.
I've been on him for like a month straight. What does he want? What is this dude doing? What's the plan?
I think got too many people in his ear, Frank. Got too many people in his ear.
What's the plan? You can do all this bullshit and jump in the cartwheels and then flip and bounce and roller skate. What is the
one damn thing? You got this.
Well, he ain't got one, and the Demon Crash show don't have one.
It's a great reset. It's just they have him.
That's
it. I'm telling you about the real ID. This girl come on talking about the damn real ID and shit.
Exactly. My bad, BJ. You're right. Yep. You talking about Christy? What's her name? No.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is all a factory reset. This is all this. But see, the thing is I don't think people are like, oh, this is gonna be gold, factory reset. But I don't think it's gonna be good at the end of the rainbow. It's gonna be AI and it's gonna be more privatized. This is Ronald Reagan 2.0.
Oh yeah, I figured they gonna privatize a lot of stuff, Frank. That's why they busting up the government now. I don't know what's going on. I saw some on X. JD Vance talking about, do you agree with Donald Trump firing 85% of the government? So I'm like, okay, is he talking about just regular employees or politicians? What's going on now? We're moving so fast.
See, the thing is that when you're rebuilding an industry, a lot of administrations, they fire when they first get in there, okay? They do. They fire shit.
That's true.
When you rebuild infrastructure, and if you're pushing on all this, and you're pushing for these tariffs to do that, for one, tariffs in certain ways could do that, but you don't blanket. You don't do no blanket tariffs. You do tariffs on certain things that you want. You see what I'm saying? To pay. You know what I'm saying?
That's what people were saying.
Shed light on certain things.
And you don't hit all the countries at one time.
You don't do it all. Just like he fired everybody, a bunch of people in the cabinets in these federal governments at one time. It's not
that's how people were saying. He was kind of cold. How they started firing people in slack because some of them people they had to bring back. I heard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, see, this is all they used it. Okay, look, you go like this. They have an actor in here to act and play the role. What did he do in The Apprentice? He fired people. Come on.
Yes, he did.
Art
same time.
What did they got?
Well, look,
actors and actresses.
And guess what? My bad. Okay, BJ, my bad. What about Linda McMahon? What the hell is she doing? They fired somebody talking about, okay, they shut down the Department of Education, but then they hired her talking about she's the czar of education. And when you cut down the Department of Education, why do you need her then? What do you need?
Let me say something about that. I'm gonna say something.
Why she need? Hold on, wait a minute. Say it again, Frank. Okay, they hired Linda McMahon to fire the people, and why does she need what?
Well, okay, you shut down the Department of Education, supposedly, right, or cut funding to it. Then why would you need her as the education czar anyway? If you cut down the department and you shut down the Department of Education.
Well, he did say that Trump. He said Trump did say that she don't give a damn. She got billions of dollars. But Trump did say that.
She gave him money. So
There you go. Remember, Frank, these people are just placeholders, okay? They already got their agenda set what they gonna do. That lady probably know a damn thing about no education.
She donated $7 million. My bad, Dawson. She donated $30 million to get on to his campaign, just like Elon Musk did. He basically
So that means that's benefiting her some way.
Buy a spot in the cabinet. That's how you do it. You buy a spot in the cabinet.
I'm gonna tell you one person that's been around.
These white folks like that, I'm gonna tell you, I don't respect none of them. When they want to talk about all culture people on welfare or trailer park white people on welfare, them the number one welfare recipients of it all, from the politicians to the NGOs to the you welfare recipients. I'm sorry. My bad, BJ.
See, it be us. Okay, if they stereotype us and say we're poor recipients, poor level,
I'm bringing up one guy here.
Correct.
I'm bringing up one guy that's been around because he's trying to get all the contracts for ICE and stuff. You need to watch this guy. This guy name is Eric Prince, former CEO of Blackwater. You know, they changed name many times. Anybody know about Blackwater? Know about Blackwater?
Mm-hmm.
The mercenaries down there in New Orleans doing Hurricane Katrina, also Iraq, Afghanistan, all them abuse there.
They was up there unaliving people too, but go ahead.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I said. Well, I said abuses. I mean,
yeah, okay.
But they trying to lobby the administration so they can get the contracts on, you know, these immigration deals and stuff like that. You know, prison things like that. Wait a minute, Eric Prince. Now you got to remember, Eric Prince, family member, was in the first Department of Education or close to it. Somebody connected him. Her name was Betsy DeVos. That's her name, Betsy DeVos, right? So
another billionaire.
Always had time. And you got to remember who else Betsy DeVos was. Betsy DeVos was also the Amway heiress. There was the Amway Arena Orlando Magic back in the day. They think they changed name now, but that's who Betsy DeVos family is from, the Amway or some shit like that. So people got to remember that Betsy DeVos. But what I looked at the other day, because I told you got this clown gnome pushing this real ID stuff, right? So you know, so I said, they would put up a thing, and guess what they said? Since she part of the Department of Homeland Security, you would think they was, trying to stop immigrants from crime, coming across the border. Maybe that could be true. Guess what they doing to check immigrants' visas? I said, now, okay, fine. You don't want to get that's fine. I said, send everybody back. Send the whole damn Congress back, everybody back. Because I think it was great for Reed was here first. So fuck it. All right, listen. But they said they're gonna screen immigrants who want to come to the United States, not on crime. They said they're gonna screen them to see if these immigrants were anti-Semitic or not. I said, what the fuck?
Wait.
Man, I'm telling you, this is a psyop. There's a lot going on to this shit. But see, this Mexican Jew, bro.
This shit got to stop, BJ. This shit got to stop. See, this. Go ahead, Frank. Then I'm add my point. Go ahead.
The president of Mexico is a Jewish lady, bro.
Now, did you good? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, BJ said that.
So
I heard him say that.
Want to see this? They're full of it. But see, this is a big psyop. You see what I'm saying? Because they just talk about they was going to have some drone strikes and stuff like that in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? This is all assimilation. It's really test runs, and it's really see how your mind will really you know what I'm saying basically it just pick up all this shit. You feel what I'm saying? That is all it is, man. Engineering consent. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Are they really trying to deport these people or not? Because I mean, you hear about the stories about private prisoners, sending them to private prisons.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about the stories saying that they can stay here in certain circumstances, that they can work for the hotels, the Marriott, wherever the fuck. Are they trying to deport these people or not? Come on, man.
What's for this is the question I like to ask Smiley. I'm telling you, it's getting heated. I mean, I don't know if it's Psyops or not, whatever you say, BJ. Yeah, I'm looking at it. But it's getting real. Look at them. It's getting real. See what I'm saying? Now they going too fucking far.
Yeah, they lying.
That's too much. I'm seeing it on X. The white folk getting a little frustrated. I'm talking about these MAGA people, right? These all-in MAGA people getting frustrated. But the question we should ask the small head, y'all tell us to shut up about slavery. That's in the past. Shut up about reparation. That's in the past. But you still bringing up them concentration camps. There were not really concentration camps, by the way. It's people that worked on the camp, go look up the history now. Helped on the camps. They got fed. They had somewhere to stay and live. This is the lies these people tell. And now they getting mad because people starting to reveal it. People starting to reveal it. I mean, the question would be too, well, if it really was that bad, like y'all said it was, and they won a war, why you didn't stay on your land? Why you all over there with the Palestinian people at?
Well,
that's where the question needs to be asked.
It's called. I'm gonna tell you what it's called, Dawson. Easter Sunday coming up. You can be resurrected or not. Hey, look, this Easter Sunday coming up.
Well, it ain't shit, BJ. Okay, BJ. Because I was talking to my neighbor about this. And it's going to come to a head. Because remember, under Joe Biden, didn't they try to pass that bill or put something forward that said if you said anything about the small heads or the synagogues of Satan? Yeah, you can be, charged with that or whatever. And then they said about somehow getting rid of the Bible or conforming to one religion. See, this is Frank right about them getting paid. Now, Trump, you say we found on Christian values, God, nation, and morals and values. So, if that's the case, how you rolling with the small hats? They don't even believe in Jesus. BJ, you just talked about Easter.
Let's go.
I mean, what's up?
Let's go play with a bunny. Hey, look, let's go play. I tell you, they tried to close the door and shut up the conversation. That's how they doing. Close the door and shut, right? So, but I would say this, that, like I said, on one end, then you got Barbie, what's her name, Kristen Noem, who looked like she had like 5 facelifts and shit.
Yeah, I know. You see that, BJ? I thought I was the only one that noticed that.
Hey, look, man. Hey, Dawson, me and you had this conversation before.
Because you know how they age.
Well, yeah. Look here. All jokes aside, just trying to be funny. Like I told a guy, me and him joking years ago. He was getting married. And the guy got mad at me. He said, he told me he called me a clown. Because I told him, he did. He called me a clown. It's okay. Fuck it. I mean, hey, look. But I think I ain't got no red nose. I'm sorry. But, it is what it is. Right? So he was like, because I told him, he was getting married to Becky with her, right? I told him, you might come back to a sister in about 15 years. He think he's 20, we were about 25 at the time. And he said, why I want to do that? I said, hey, man, because she going to look different at 40 and her sister at 40. He's like, you was a clown for saying some shit like that.
Come on now, BJ. Come on, tell it.
No, I ain't. You might be a clown.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm telling them. They hit that wall, man. They hit that wall, man. They hit that wall. I was telling my son them and all them. Y'all can sit around there messing with Becky and Pink Toes if y'all want to. Them motherfuckers they get a Face all red. All right.
I let her know.
They ain't gonna look like us.
They be looking
I
like
let her
Medusa.
know.
Oh, Medusa looking.
Hey, look, because I was fucking with him. I said, look, because I think we like 25 or 26 at the time. But I told him, look here. You don't realize, I mean, you know it's true. I mean, hey, dog, you 40 years old. Let's not be real. You might be out of store right now, right?
Yeah.
I know even at 44, 40, whatever they are, you can be 50.
Right.
But I didn't want to tell you, anyone will tell you, I still have 20-year-olds trying to holler at them. They will tell you this shit.
Yep.
Now go back and ask every other culture of people, is everybody trying to holler at them? Because I ain't saying they don't do it, but it ain't gonna be just no look. Because you got women out here that's 50 looking like they 25. Matter of fact, some of them look just like their daughters. And matter of fact, no, take that back. Some of them look better than their daughters.
Yeah. That's true. Now that's true.
Because me and the guy was talking today, and I said, I told him, sir, you are 64 years old, about to be 65. And I said, don't you find it amazing that you got people my age that, not talking about myself, but just talking about in general, that he was like, because they don't work out. I said, yeah. He said, in the wintertime, they go in the house. He's like, no, you still need to walk outside. And he said, I'm not talking about just walk your dog down the damn street. He said, you need to still walk and exercise, to keep keep in shape. So he was saying, his first wife died. He got another woman that he been dating for 2 years. He said, every woman he ever had worked out or been, he said, now if I'm getting my ass up to work out, you're going to get your ass up to work out. That's what he told me. But he was saying, but he said that he liked to see people like myself and some of my buddies, either working out and doing things, because he was saying the fact that he's 65 years old and he's still in shape. He said, I'm 160, but I just want to get back to about 155, something like that. He said, just as a personal goal, whatever. Because he was saying that when he said, you go back to 1960, 80, 70, you don't see people that's, I don't know, 250 pounds, 300 pounds, et cetera, football players, maybe something like that. He said, this thing is getting ridiculous where you got these younger people that's, girls in high school, 250. He's like, what the hell you doing 250? What's wrong with you? You ain't had a child yet. So, it is what it is, right? But he was just letting me know. So he was just saying that, people need to keep doing, work out. And you're like, stop eating goddamn like a damn hog. He told me that. Oh, but by the way, though, my bad, though. I'm sorry, I forgot about it. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. You eat like people eat like hogs anyway. You know what they do. And by the way, I don't know. They bringing back wolf species and shit. So,
man, what's that?
But let me play this video, Frank. Frank, I got you. But yeah, Dawson. So, Dawson, just for the guy that was talking to me, keep them legs and hips moving. You'll be fine. Don't keep the legs and hips moving. You'll be fine. Don't be like the sister girl.
Oh no, I ain't never been there.
Like American.
You better exercise and move. Shoot.
Hey, look, or you can do like one of them told me. She said a couple of years ago, she like, I gotta do something with this weight. I said, what you gonna do about it? She like, I'm gonna get a surgery and transfer it to my ass. I said, oh, this.
Wow.
There you go.
Look, taking it easy. Hey, look, you know the old saying, Dawson, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Shortcuts and getting cut up like a goddamn butcher. Who getting the best meat? God damn it.
But okay, they spend all that money, then it don't last. Then what?
Damn, they gotta redo it.
But do they have the money to maintain it, Frank? That's the thing. You're not a Kardashian. You're not a Joan Rivers. You're not somebody who wealthy who can maintain it.
My homeboy says all the time to me. He always tells me if he ever thought he joked, he might be talking shit. He ain't done it yet, so I know he's talking shit. But he said the day Frank, this is what he told me, man. He said the day he thought he saw black women get facelifts, butt surgeries, and all this shit. He said he thought the daggone he probably was going into another alien universe. I said, speaking of alien universe, they say Gayle King's supposed to lift off tomorrow. So, yeah, right.
That's how you know it's a psyop, because the thing is, man, there's no outer space, man. There's only a space, and that's it. There's no outer space. You know what I'm saying? Space is only what you can't fucking comprehend and what you can't see.
It is a space. It's called MySpace. Remember MySpace? Remember MySpace?
Man.
MySpace. Yeah, MySpace. I'm right here in MySpace. I'm talking to y'all, right? MySpace, right? But that bullshit, man. MySpace. Remember that MySpace website? Yeah, they do. But look, Gayle King. Hey, look, Gayle King. If you go into space, hey, look, man, I'm gonna be dead on with you, man. Hey, look, just let me know was the cookie good or not, because I know you don't have a lot of cosmetics. You might not have a lot of cosmetics. I don't know, but I know goddamn well somebody's still trying to taste a piece of Kit Kat bar. But you're in space. Let me know how long you last up there, shit, and let me know when you get back to. I got some brothers that might want a piece of the pie. Shit. Hold on a minute. Let me play this for you, Frank.
April 13th, 2025, the week before Easter. And the big headline today is some crazy 38-year-old tried to burn down the governor of Pennsylvania's home, Josh Shapiro, who was nearly the VP choice for Kamala before she went with old Tim Walz, the supposed football coach who thinks the play in the playbook is called a pick six. Makes you wonder where they get these political actors from.
Come on.
Not a single football coach out there that doesn't know the pick six isn't the name of a play. It's something that happens when an interception's ran back for a touchdown. But anyway, a 38-year-old was arrested, right? That's where we begin. A 38-year-old was arrested. If you're new here, you got to learn this little simple code of ABC123, because you'll see through the made-up news every single day, and it's literally what it is: contrived headlines, contrived stories for an emotional response to get people to go along with agendas, to take sides in things they shouldn't take sides in. And of course, this Josh Shapiro, a lot of people are already speculating that in the next election, he will be the Democratic nominee for president. That remains to be seen, but he's one of the front runners at this moment. And stories like this will build an emotional relationship, some sympathy, some name recognition. Some people today might hear the name Josh Shapiro for the first time. Oh, wow, he must be important if somebody's trying to burn down his house. Some crazy 38-year-old. But again, this practice of ABC 123 comes from Kabbalah. 38 is a very special number, and one of the things it connects to is fire. If you're new here, it's also a number connected to death. And of course, if somebody tried to burn down his house, that means they were trying to kill him. Look into the song Murder by Numbers, as well as the movie Murder by Numbers, where right on the movie poster, they code the E into a 3 and the B into an 8, like 3-8. You could also look at it as 8-3. If you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language: the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, and both orders with numerology applied. Murder happens to equate to 38 and 83, like the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. The film stars Sandra Bullock, which also equals 83, and that film came out 38 weeks after her birthday. Other words equating to 38 are killing, death, RIP, Gematria itself. Keep in mind there's a song out there called Gematria, the killing name, by the band Slipknot. English equals 38, so does Kabbalah, so does Jew. And Kabbalah is traditionally a Jewish practice, and Josh Shapiro is a Jewish man. Somebody tried to burn up the Jewish man, a 38-year-old, so they say.
Stop right there. Damn.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I told you. I told you.
But you see, I see these white boys calling this stuff out though.
Facts. He got it, man.
He got them. I'm telling you, they on them. I don't know how this gonna play out. I'm still the Christians against the small head Jews. I want to see how this gonna play out. Ooh, I want to see this.
Well,
see that let you know right there. Religion is used for certain tools and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's used as a tool to divide. It's used as a tool to control, to brainwash, and so on and so on. But it also used as a tool to, you know what I'm saying, to put and set forth agendas and shit, narratives.
Yep.
You These motherfuckers slick, man.
So I just that's interesting right there. But I just letting you know, hey, look, I call them the J Crew, and look, and I hey, look, Frank, if I say this, well, I go, I got to tell you something, man. One of my homeboys, oh yeah, Dawson, I told you about him. Matter of fact, actually, one of the girl a couple years ago, whatever. So, he, I gotta talk to you. I gotta go catch up with him right quick. He might be trying to come back and he might have to hang out with me for a couple months or whatever. He had gotten to he had gotten to a motorcycle accident, broke his ankle, right? Yeah. And I think he had lost the apartment or whatever. So yeah. But so we gotta talk about that. But I said, so I was looking at some stuff. I said, damn. So I said, I just, we're just doing a study today. And I was saying how I looked at an apartment down the street. I got my first apartment. I was 20 years old. And that apartment was $521 when I first got it. That apartment day for the same one bedroom apartment. So $1,100. And that shit won't have been 700 square feet. Right. So I said, let me go look at this.
I was funny. I was saying that too. I remember they had some apartments called Broadway Square here. And you get I was on the third floor. That was just $300 a month. Nice size too. It was over like 1,000 square feet. Nice size. 2 walk-in closet. Yep. Nice living room size, dining room. Yep. Kitchen.
Yeah. See, that lets you know everything is privatized, and that lets you know the market's privatized, and that lets you know people like BlackRock and people like Blackstone. That's all them right there. That's all.
Yeah, but come on, Frank, for you to run up something from $500 to or $300 to $500, and the price darn near triple or quadruple just in a number of years. I mean, that's ridiculous.
So
that's ridiculous.
Is that not price gouging?
It is price gouging, yeah.
But I called one of my buddies who rents out houses or whatever, and
that's why these young people got to get roommates, and their parents got to co-sign for them. Because now, when you get an apartment, I don't know where it is where y'all at, but here you gotta have 3 to 4 times the rent. So your income, yep,
that's right. And as a matter of fact, if it's so if it was 3 to 4 times the rent, and let's say put up one of these apartments right here, just one of them I think about it was what is it? If you have a rent of $2,000, let's say $2,000, right? If that's what you got to move in, that means that you got to have $6,000 on hand.
Right. That's right. Yeah, coming in. Yeah. That's about right. Yeah. So it's the same. Okay.
So that go to show you. So, and they've been building. Matter of fact, they've been a whole lot of apartments in that street, because I actually got up there. I said, who these motherfuckers? So I said, because he was telling me he was one of the guys, but I told my boy, let me know how you think going in the month. We're gonna talk tonight or whatever. But I did tell him, or we don't even talk tonight. We talk about this stuff all the time. But so we, like I said, we've been knowing each other since 14, 15 years old. But I was looking to one of my homeboys, so you got space, you can rent out to him too. He got 3-bedroom townhouse he rent out. So I've been telling people, if you really need to, get a space, it's probably better to get it right now if you can. If you private owner, instead of going to these apartment complexes. These apartment complexes will send your ass through the fucking ringer with this bullshit. Like I said, that is ridiculous to pay 3 times the rent for fucking dollars. But that it is crazy. But and it ain't a problem down here. I'm telling you, they done done some crazy shit. We had a 30-year-old damn tobacco factory, still naming the building Model Tobacco. They don't just say, fuck it, we gutted the bitch out and made apartments and shit. I did. Now look, man, I want to know if y'all gutted that bitch out, did y'all at least take all the factory wine and stuff? Because I'm just looking at it like from a standpoint of that, because they just kind of like, but that just go to show you how it is. So I think people need to pay attention to that. Always pay attention to that type of stuff. And don't, let these colonize whatever, because when you go to your apartment manual, see who runs it, you're gonna find out that a lot of your apartment owners ain't even in your state. They from another state somewhere. You don't even know. That one time, met one from Colorado here. So I should come and check them out probably. So it is. We got Breeden Construction and some other Stanley Martin or something like that. But I've been realizing, and they got the sign right on there in front of the building. Guess what they say? Not from the 200s, not from the 3, from the 400s. They tell you. So
yeah, it's the same here. Yep.
That's what they're telling you. Also want to bring up something in Texas. I think they said they had a home exploding or something that happened in Austin, Texas. Right. I think I saw that earlier. I ain't had time to go through it yet, so I ain't report on it. But right now, let me look at it first. And just want to say about the winds and things like that. We did have a big pollen attack. Shit. And
did you play, not to cut you off, did I don't know, did you play that with the guy at Walmart that, did y'all play that? I got on late.
No, I ain't.
The employees.
Oh, you talking about the shooting at the Walmart employees in Georgia?
Yeah. Did y'all play that?
What happened with that?
I skimmed past it, but I didn't play it because I think I talked about.
Oh, you didn't play it? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna even come on tomorrow now because I gotta bring that up too because
okay.
So but the crazy part about it, you talking about killing, man. Look, we just had shooting the other day. We had about 4 or 5 shooting on spring break. Matter of fact, all of them in almost these housing projects around here. With these housing projects around here, actually, gentrification zones. That's why they're bringing this shit up, because I'm like, the way they've been bringing this shit up, wait a minute, man. There's always been shit that going around there since I've been a kid. So that ain't shit. But then I think they found a year of it. I think there was a lot of wild shit going on, but I know they had a lot of shootings and stuff, right? So now they telling you, now they got these prom going on. And I'm sitting there thinking about myself like, what? So it's prom going on. Now they want, they talking about they talking about Chicago or summertime. They want to move the children curfew back to 8 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock and all this stuff. I said, wait a minute now. Hold the fuck up, man. Yo, I'm just telling you. And y'all seeing these reports lately of kids killing their parents, beating their parents over these games and stuff. Y'all been seeing that lately.
Damn.
Now, I already told you, back in let's say our day, because it ain't mine, because y'all actually older than me. But I'm still about to be 38 years old on July 16th, so fuck it. Right. You won't just run up on no damn parent and just beating the shit out of somebody without some damn repercussions.
Man.
I had a woman tell me the other day that her son told her years ago that she better do what he say or he gonna fuck her up. I tell you what. I said, well,
he said what to her?
Talking about, she better do what he say or he gonna fuck her up. Right?
Oh, I wish my son would.
Wow.
I said,
you gotta ask my son one time when he jumped fly with me. I threw a goddamn long ass crowbar at his ass and pointed my gun at. I don't play with kids. And left him there in his pajamas and barefoot and told his dad and grandma to pick him. I don't play that. See these parents, just these damn parents.
Well, I told her. Well, I told him. I mean, not her. I told her about him. I said, "Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question because I said if I got somebody over there to do it, it's Robert Cutler. I said you got a brother, cousin, step
Come on now, DJ. Come on.
Because I said you can't be. I said because if you talking to me, I mean this is like I'm tell you what. I said one nugget in the head can solve all that. This ain't even really but I said this is kind of foolishness to me, right? This is foolishness. And so how old are you? How old you, son? 14.
Oh yeah, he's smelling himself. That's just the brunt of it. Wait till he get 10 taller.
I said, look, man. I said, really tell you the truth. I said, really, I don't have to do that. I said, look, I got most of my friends, I always say 35, 45, some of them mean 50. I said, really tell you the truth. I told her what you asking for, or what you telling me is something that a 25-year-old could do for real. This is not hard. This is not nothing hard to do. This is like child's play. I said, you know what? But I said, I get it. That's where we at. I mean, that's where it's at now, right? So it is what it is. Like I told you. Hey, that's where it's going. So I'm just gonna say they talk about domestic violence between women and men and lesbians and whatever trannies, but a lot of domestic violence in the home ain't talked about with kids and the parents and stuff going on too. So be aware of that. That's a big thing going on too. Need to be talked about more.
Yeah, dude. I saw a video and I posted on my Insta bitch and Facebook. I posted on there about what Charles X. Wright said. He made some good points. Sometimes he should be hit or miss, but he right. This the generation that take their parents out, aunties, uncles, siblings, go outside and commit violent acts. I don't know.
Yep. Well, you have to be careful. And like I said, you cannot you talking about some damn electronics and shit. I said, damn. I say like, back then, you had a kid might tear the wall and shit. I mean, I ain't
you gotta understand with them being on them video games, that's messing with them kids' serotonin and dopamine levels. So that's almost like a drug.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
What crackheads used to do trying to get that hit?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you some wild shit.
Everything on there to take you out to get that money to get that hit.
Hey, look, I did something wrong one time, and I had a Nintendo or whatever, PlayStation or whatever the hell that shit was, right? And, back in the day, they say, "You're grounded." You're grounded. You can't. You know what? We're gonna stop you going outside. We're gonna take your game from you. And I got mad, and that dad go punch the hole in the fucking wall and shit, right? And then guess what? I punched a hole in the wall. I ain't hit with a switch.
There's repercussions, you know what I'm saying? It was
man, I wish I would. My mom only allowed us to play the video game on the weekend and for so many hours.
That's true.
Right.
I'm out, she didn't play. We went on no video. During the weekday for school. Oh, no, sir. No, man. You better not turn on that game system. Please.
So that's how it went. I mean, so now my situation is a little different. I'm gonna say this. So here was the deal. You could play it after 6 o'clock on a weekday, but you had to do two things. Watch this. This was kind of interesting. One, you can stay at school after 2 to do your homework at school, or you come home and do your homework before you quit. But you had to do everything before you cut that game on. And it better be right. Guess what? You couldn't have more than 2 questions wrong. Yes.
I know that's right.
So, a little different. And guess what? You still had to be in bed by 8:30. So this thing now is kind of another thing. One more thing. You know, he's talking about all these daycares and stuff like this and all this federal money for daycares and shit like that. Let me tell you something. I ain't never had no daycare. Oh, wait a minute. I want to stay out of school. Maybe you consider that. But we had a lady named Miss Bird that used to live on 31st Street when I was a kid. I know her daughter, we all grew up together. We had like neighborhood nannies and stuff like that. People you went to that you knew in the neighborhood, yo. Not this bullshit that's going on some center with thousands of people that you don't know. We had people we knew. So it's just so, I mean, like, look, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. This thing, just to be honest with you, so I'm gonna tell you these podcast shit, some of them are lying their ass off because you know that Rhea was a close-knit generation around that time. More people were more close-knit. You ain't gonna be able to get that back with the shit that been going on. You can be close-knit with the people you in, but some of these people you're not gonna be able to be close-knit with them because I mean the matrix is up here, it's in there, it's everywhere. Like you walk around the damn mall today. I'm like, hey yo. You know, I'm gonna want to stop my foot in the damn mall. Let me ask you a question. Frank, I'm gonna ask you a question, Dawson, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. When you go into a mall or a shopping space today, have you ever asked a question? Does anybody speak to anybody in the goddamn mall hardly? Does anybody realize that?
No. Social media make people antisocial, man.
Antisocial. Look, Frank, look how you said that. Social media made people antisocial. Get it? See how they play on the words?
Yeah. I mean, so
etymology.
Man, I don't. Me personally, you don't want to speak to me. I mean, you have the right not to. I'm just saying. I mean, it do look funny when you walk into the. You know, I'm walking and a little kid walking in front of me. And I'm doing a mistake. I said, "Dang!" And I had to kind of like move him out the way a little bit. But I was like, why he didn't realize I was coming? I mean, I'm in the open face. He got his head in the phone. So.
These parents, I'm thinking about some stuff, how these parents just out of control. Y'all kids ain't even grown and y'all paying $200, $300 for them to get quick weave, eyelashes, long ass claw nails. I'm just thinking about that.
Matter of fact, ladies first, I'm gonna let you close out, but I'm gonna tell you something about what you said right there first. Watch this. Because I had a woman that told me something the other day. She was like, BJ, what you think about my man? I said, well, first of all, I ain't supposed to ask you asking a question like this, but I'm gonna go ahead. Ask what you gotta ask me. You know what I'm saying? What you think about my man told me he don't want to pay $300 my wig installed. I told him, well, he's my man. I wouldn't do that shit neither. I told her, let your natural hair breathe. Fuck that. Right? She's like, well, damn. I said, where the hell you trying to go? I'm trying to go to a concert. What the hell you need $300 to go to a damn wig concert? I said, a wig install. But yes, Dawson, it's prom season. Yes, wig installs, hair, nails, all that good right now.
I forgot it was time fly. I forgot prom season right around the corner again.
Prom season. So when prom season come around, that's why you're seeing the wig installs and the nails and all that. So, so my thing is, once again, they got you with the cap and gown, prom, all that. So my only problem with this prom thing is you got mother going to 1, 2, 3, and 4 prom. Then they have an 8th school prom, 7th grade prom. They taking this shit. This like a whole damn fucking look. Look here, man. I ain't telling you that. We had 1 prom, that was it. Sorry. Just say, if I had 2 of you went with a senior, right? But my thing, this thing, like, it's like, yo, I know you want to get them the big fine limo and all that. I mean, it is what it is, right? Hey, look, I had to tell somebody a couple weeks ago, what kind of car should I get my kid? Mom gave me a Ford Tempo. Sorry. I mean, you want to get a Mercedes, whatever you want to do, that's fine, right? Whatever the case may be. Right? You do what you want to do. That's on you. My thing is, I think we done got so into the glitz and the glamour, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to. I know your girls want to follow Glorilla. Oh yeah, who had to shut down a concert by the way because they had to fight this shit.
Wow.
Oh boy, that's the whole
Never
story.
cease to amaze me, man.
Yeah. So for the young women, y'all going to see Glorilla, and the old girls, they just had Mary J was just there, boy. Everybody go see it. Mary J was sweating kind of hard, though.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Damn.
Look at that shit. Mary J was out there, yo.
She out there, huh, BJ?
Was in Baltimore. Girls went to see her. They got the millennium. They got that Millennium tour last week. That was North Carolina. Matter of fact, J. Cole was there.
Yeah, I heard y'all saying. Yeah, somebody was talking about that. I saw that.
And J. Cole got a picture with Glorilla. Matter of fact.
You already know what that is.
Well, what is Gorilla the person? I guess he mad about his makeup artist. Showing pictures of his makeup. I mean, I don't. These people, I call them persons. I don't.
I call them. Hey, look, Dawson. Makeup made up. It's only made up in your mind. That's in your mind. Glorilla. And look, matter of fact, a Glorilla, you take the the L-O, it's a Gorilla. Gorilla. You see? And that's a ape. So
there you go.
I'm not saying that, ape, but most of the time when they show us a gorilla, right? They show us the male Glorilla because the male Glorilla beats the chest.
That's correct.
So that's your tipping point to say, hey, why they got that glow on there? Another thing, you just say something, man. I tell you, man, I got to say one thing about these women. Glorilla got a lot of tattoos, but
come on now.
I've been seeing a whole lot of women lately even around here. I saw one with tattoo is starting to die, tattoo right here. I'm like, what y'all doing, man? Yeah, look. I'm gonna be dead on with Dawson. This is
a good question, BJ.
No, it's called the Clown Chronicles. Okay, it's called the Clown Chronicles, right? It's called the Clown Chronicles, and y'all looking like a goddamn vortex right now. This shit is wild, right? And it's like I told the guy the other day, it's going to get wilder.
Of course.
It's like,
I can see that.
Like, whether I know you're talking about what's his lady's name? Felicia Rashad. We saw it, right?
Yeah, we was talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. I saw the comments, some of these, even though I see some of these women I put on, these probably like bots or like social media influencers, but she ain't really had to say nothing because to me, if you look at it, I mean, Felicia Rashad, I like what you said, but guess what? You got one little small problem. She talking about the young girls. Guess what? Dawson. It's been a role reversal because you got older women dressing like that. And Felicia Rashad ain't dressed like that too. And the whole time she might have left out. I say she ain't right. I'm just saying they having a back to the future, I guess, because I'm like, you might not need to be doing that. But hey, look, some of them, hate to say it, Dawson, my daughter getting a tattoo. Well, I'm going my daughter to get a tattoo too.
Yep.
At 50? What?
Come on now.
So what I'm saying, Stella is getting her groove back. Unfortunately.
Because the brothers, the men don't want them. I don't know who they trying to press other women. The men don't.
Shit.
I mean,
gigolos do. Shit, what you talking about?
Well, yeah, you're right.
Shoot. My homeboy told me 5 years ago, he said, shoot, a woman told him she'll pay all his bills if he don't leave her. I said, oh, the damn woman. She's 49. What?
Can't get a man. They desperate now.
How old are you?
They
I'm
desperate
31.
now.
I'm 31. Now look, I don't see some wild shit over the last couple of months. Look, I'm trying to tell you, Dawson. I'm gonna tell you something. I asked Chak the same question because Chak had the daughter on the phone in the background one day. And he asked his daughter, "How would you like if I was dating a girl that was your age or younger?" She said she wouldn't like it. So, talking to the guy a couple weeks ago, he told me he was messing with a chick. I said, "Okay, cool. I said that's life. I said that shit. I said everybody fucks. What's the problem? I ain't never give a shit." I said, "How old is this woman, man?" Just asking. She 44, 45, one of the other. He like, her son was having a problem with him. I said, well, wait a minute. How old her son? That's the first thing I want to know. I'm thinking, the son might be like a teenager. Now, ain't my son. He said the son is either younger than him or 1 year younger than him or a year older than him, one or the other. I forgot which one it was. I said, well, that ain't, I hate to say it. I don't understand he mad with you. But I said, really, to tell you the truth, he can be mad with you only once. You might be in it because you messing with her, but that's his mama. That ain't. That's on her too now. So take two to tango here, brother. Now, I would advise you to stop going over her house for something could happen to you, possibly. But I said that, hey, look, everybody wants to jump back into the fountain of youth. So they say they want to jump back in the fountain of youth, right? But so it ain't surprising. But when you start to hear this stuff openly, I'm not saying, because it always happens. But when you start to hear this stuff openly, or women just out here actually telling you they trying to go back to men that's 20 years their junior, you just have to say, this is really getting to be some freaky shit. Men would talk about it openly a lot. Women would do it, but they wouldn't be so eager back then to talk about it. They just come out and telling you now, yeah, I'm messing with a guy that's 10 years my age. 10 years less than my age, my fault. So, yeah, this is like some wild. So, unfortunately, Dawson, just to make it clear for you, I know you talk about the thoughts and all that, but guess what? It ain't just the young ones no more thoughting. It's a lot of this shit going on. It's all over.
I believe it.
It's universal. So, as I always say, hey, look, I know you call it mileage, right? That's what you call it, mileage. It might be getting, hey, look, I'm going to ask you this. How far can the odometer go before the transmission? Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Can the transmission keep going or will it stop? Because when you go to transmission, when the transmission busts, you got to get a whole lot of work done. And as a matter of fact, that is what one girl told me, Dawson, a couple years ago. And I guess I'm just for the purpose of discussing the transmission is when they go get that vaginoplasty, where they tighten it up and all that other stuff.
Wow.
I know one told me.
But go ahead.
I had one that told me years ago that she was gonna have a vaginoplasty when she turned 40 or 50, and whatever. I said, well, if you got to do all that, I said, hey, look. I said, when you turn 40 or 50. She said, you're such a fucking dick. She did call me a dick. It is okay. She called me a dick. It's what it is, man. Hey, look, man, I have no problem taking these damn insults. Fuck it. It is what it is, right? She said, you're such a fucking dick, BJ. I told her, hey, look, if you got to have vaginoplasty at 40 or 50, that ain't no pussy I won't have it at 40 or 50. I told her,
that's right.
I don't want. I told her I don't like cosmetic pussy. I told her I'm sorry, and she like, She was like, that's why I can't stand you. Well, you know, it is what it is. Hey, look. Well, I hate to say you, Missy. I don't know where you're at these days, but I don't know if you had it or not, but I'm pretty sure there's other women out here that don't want cosmetic pussies either. So yeah, you ain't by yourself. I mean, you might not be by yourself, but, but everybody don't want to be cosmetic surgery. Just put it out there. I mean,
tell me I can't even afford to keep it up, but okay.
But yeah, this has been actually cool. Yeah, like I said, couple of setbacks lately on the personal side, but it is what it is. Shit, fuck it. Let's pick up the ball and keep this thing rolling. So Dawson, go ahead and shout out your information.
Oh yeah, I had to create a new. Okay, on IG, share_speaks with a Z instead of a S21, but I recreated me another one. Or share speaks instead of the S, a Z TV on IG. YouTube, the same. Share_speaks21 or share speaks TV.
All right, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I as things progress, I'll find out some more. But I think I actually went to look to see if that medicine was in there. But when I looked at it, I said, "Oh shit, this is a damn ibuprofen bottle." Shit.
Yeah, okay, that ain't it. Okay.
So I'll ask him, but maybe I don't know. I gotta find out his insulin treatments or whatever. I'll find out in the next couple of days or whatever. I mean, I hadn't talked to him for 1 or 2. Well, and I had talked to him, but he had called me like 50 damn times one day, so I had to block him a couple of days. 50 times in one day or something. But, yeah, that's it. Go ahead, Frank. Shout out your information.
All right, man. So salute the information, man. Once again, you know what I'm saying? We gotta be aware, people, you know what I'm saying, basically playing with our minds, man, the psychological operations that they run on us 24/7, you see what I'm saying, doesn't stop. 365 days a year, you know what I mean, on all fronts, you see what I'm saying, basically, just planting these seeds in our minds, man, and just making it to where, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to come together more and more, man, as the government, you see what I'm saying, grows and more in control of us, you see what I'm saying, we're, and, they're trusting each other because they're running with each other in these groups, in these circles, versus we not trusting each other, we not helping each other. And we just split up and divided. So, this is all a game, man. You see what I'm saying? It's all a political game. It's all a ploy. The rich get richer and the poor don't get like a thing, man, like in New Jack City, you feel me?
We're gonna talk about the New Jack City one day, because that was a major what you call it? How can I put it? That was a major thing to talk about crime in the city. That was a video movie that actually showed a lot of stuff. And then, matter of fact, New Jack City came out right before the crime bill too. But we'll talk about that one day. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So y'all can hit me up at XX Frank Nitty XX, and then also on Instagram, same, and then Frank Jones 8115. You want to check me on my other page? You know what I'm saying? Salute. Get out the information. You feel what I'm saying? Keep it going.
Last thing I just want to say, people like Dawson, she said she has some weather problem in the state. Watch the weather. I would say that it's supposed to be like 70 something here or whatever after all this rain this weekend or whatever. And but like I said, people, I would say this: cayenne pepper, you can use that. Olives, olive oil, things like that. Zinc stuff. I mean, like I told you, the white girl came with me the other day. She's like, damn, I've never seen a person just outside walking and just pull out some olives to eat or something like that. She's like, I didn't know you like olives. I said, I'm looking at this chick like, yo, let me tell you something. See, you can't keep on putting us in boxes. See,
right.
We always knew how to eat.
Exactly.
We always knew how to eat. See, she know my aunt and stuff, but I said, look, my great aunt that's 86 years old, or 87 now. I told you when I was young, she used to have grapes in the backyard and all that stuff. So I told her, this ain't new to us. Matter of fact, it ain't new to a lot of us. This other diet shit and eating all this fucking McDonald's, all this bullshit. This shit is some fucking foreign shit to us, really. This is fucking foreign shit. We won't do no shit like that. Not consecutive all the time anyway. Right. So we always have, so eat your olives, greens and things like that, and just keep balanced diet, walk. I've been, like I said, last week and a half and 2 weeks have been like a major learning experience on certain things. I didn't even had to look up things on ALS I didn't even know about, and other things. So people just, figure you gotta sometimes just sit and let people figure this thing out. And also, like I said, they did tell you that a lot of the bees are dying, so that's another reason why the pollen possibly was out there, because when you interfere with nature got a way of coming back and kicking your ass, just like I sent you on that thing the other day, or them bears that's trying to break into them cars now because they ain't got no goddamn food. The bears coming in the human habitat, and all these trees they cutting down this bitch. Dang on, I'm riding there. I said, "What all them trees at? All them trees down. What are they doing? Oh, they better make some problems right there." Oh, nice. So I said, okay. So sooner or later, up here in the Providence area, well, not Providence, but Providence Road out here and things like that. Guess what? I might walk out one morning, Dawson, and I might not send you a picture of a deer next time. I might send you a picture of a damn bear. I don't know. Shit. Fuck it. Hey, look, man. Shit. Might see a picture of a damn bear, Dawson. I don't know. But I damn sure wouldn't want to deal with that reality. But hey, you keep on cutting down the forest.
That's true.
That's what I might run into. Right? Don't want to run into it. But hey, if it is, hey, look. Because one thing about it, I'm gonna say this. Motherfuckers, the only thing you can do with that is call animal control. And I hate to say this. I really don't want people to see. That's the problem with animal control. I mean, just saying this. You got to use animal control because you taking that animal, you got to kill a bear that really would be fine in his natural habitat. So that's another issue that we got. So that's it. But take your time, man. Fun. And matter of fact, tomorrow night, I'm gonna come on and cover that Abercrombie and Finch thing that Dawson sent me.
Oh yeah, facts.
We're gonna cover that. So take your time, bro.
All right, y'all. Salute.
Yes, sir.